Oh, wait, hold up. Wait a minute, man. Wait a minute, man. Wait a minute, man. So we are here, man. Rec Room, Big Tuesday, regular Tuesday. You know how we do, man. We steady flexing. Somehow, some way, we got so much going on. We actually are live in the command center right now. Well, one of our correspondents is live in the command center. Um, we're going to see if we can get a news feed once he gets connected through our satellite. But for now, we got Coach Joey, and the crazy thing is, from time to time, man, Joe, we know you do a lot of traveling. You like to hit the road. You like to hit the classics. So where was Coach Joey yesterday? What was going on?
Oh man, I was in the building, blessed to be in attendance at the national championship game, man. Notre Dame versus Ohio State. So yeah, definitely was in Mercedes-Benz Stadium on MLK Day, watching a really good college football game.
Okay, okay. So you was in the A.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We pull up to Atlanta with it, man. Blessed to be in attendance to watch my Buckeyes take home their seventh national championship in a very competitive game, man.
I got you, man. So
Yes,
your
sir.
big shouts out to the Buckeyes, taking home the first 12 team college football playoff national championship. So man, you was there, you was live in full effect, man. Like, what was the atmosphere like out there in Atlanta for the very first college football national championship? Ohio State versus Notre Dame. I know it was live.
It was electric. If I had to give a percentage, it probably was 60% Ohio State, 40% Notre Dame fans, but Notre Dame definitely showed up, showed out. Everybody was excited. Um, it's been a while since they made it to the national championship game, title game. So they were definitely in attendance representing the great state of Indiana. And then my Buckeyes, we came deep representing the great state of Ohio. It was just love. Got out there a little bit before the game started. Just the atmosphere was just electric, man. Everybody just in there ready to root on their team. You already know college football games, they have the best crowds. Everybody standing on their feet the entire game. Nobody was really in their seat too much at the time. And just watching some great plays, some great action on that football field.
Now, I think we were talking a little bit offline. That very first Notre Dame drive, 18 plays, so many runs. Like, as an Ohio State fan, like, was your heart beating out your chest for that very first drive, man? Because it took. I know it took the air out the stadium for a
Yeah,
little.
man, it was like a 9-minute drive, 18 plays. Riley Leonard continuously getting first down after first down with his legs. We were patiently waiting for our possession to get the ball, man. But yeah, they came out and gave us one of those heavyweight jabs. Like, hey, we here, we ready to do our thing and represent. Try to take this thing home, man. So yeah, that first drive was very impressive on behalf of them, led by their quarterback, Riley Leonard, man. So yeah, we were looked up and I was like, dang, it's 5 minutes left in the first. Yeah, they
Them boys
they
was
took
running
some
the
time
clock
off of
out.
that.
They was like, y'all are not getting the ball at all in the first
Yeah,
quarter.
so from that point, I was like, oh, their game plan might be to, you know, bleed that clock, limit our possession, so that our offense wouldn't be on the field as much, and then hey, that may lead them into being a close game, and then they can be able to make a play or two late in the fourth and maybe win it. So that's why I think their game plan was going. Um, Based off of that first drive.
Man, I'm so, in my estimation, like, I'm thinking while this is happening live, I know you was excited once the drive got going, and then all of a sudden it was like, yeah, this is the Ohio State we came to see.
Yes,
Uh-oh.
you we got our first possession. We scored as well. We started off strong. So once we punched it in the box and got in there, Ohio State fans went crazy. So it was just a big cheer fest. Everybody cheering on. We kind of broke out and took that lead at first. First few after the halftime, we was up a good bit. So, we were excited. Ohio State fans were on our feet the whole entire time, man. But Notre Dame, they really did come to play. They really did come to play. Well coached by Marcus Freeman. He had a great game plan. They really don't throw the ball that much, but when they got down a good bit, they were forced to throw. And they started coming through and making it a game, making it
Now,
entertaining.
Now, of course, speaking of entertainment, Joey.
Yo,
Oh snap! Oh, what?
check this out, yo. Here I am, dog. Hey, dog, I'm late. I know I'm late. Check this out. The war going on out here, yo. First of all, it's snowing down here in South Carolina. Do you hear me? It's snowing down here in South Carolina. You
What?
know, certain things come along. They be like, yeah, when it snows, it'll snow. That'll be the day. We know when it happens. So I'm just saying, man. But there's a war going on here, man.
No
What's
man is
going on,
safe from.
fellas? My fault. I ain't mean to interrupt, but y'all know what time it is.
We knew you was coming in from Command Central, bro. We was just waiting on the satellite feed to connect, and so you could come through clearly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know. And look, man. So Joe, like, last but not least, so the part of the entertainment was supposed to be, of course, Travis Scott. Was it what was going on? Travis Scott performed or not?
It was like a video of him performing on top of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I'm assuming it was pre-recorded. They had a band and everything with it. It was debuting his new single 4x4. It was under the impression that it was going to be a performance live there, but it ended up being a recording. The song pretty straight though. It was a pretty good song. It was debuting that, and I believe he got some merch that dropped along with it on his website. You know, he one of the more popular entertainers in the rap industry right now. So
Shoes probably dropped too. Some Travis Scott shoes probably.
that was pretty dope. Coco Jones did the national anthem. Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. Listen,
South Carolina, she represented very well.
Shout out to Mr. No Manners too. Mr. No Manners, what it do, man? If you need a comedian, if you need somebody to come open the show or do a 5-minute set, 10-minute set right quick, Mr. Manners is available. It's right there in the comment section. Mr. Manners, drop your stuff in there so we can find you later. Hey man, you know what's crazy though? You know what's crazy? So Jay, I was in the house, right? I was cooking, and I was playing my Will Smith CD.
Will Smith.
Detroit, what?
Detroit, what?
This is Rec Room Sports. Olympians carrying the torch, going where they don't go. We ain't lost. From the optics to the topics, we got this with synopsis. Think outside the boxes like Jay on the mic or your boy K Witt. Joe is my coach, T Sweat on the mix. All sports, even if you catch fish like Nate Diaz catches fist. You need to catch this episode, it's a can't miss. We go live and you should subscribe and X's and O's. We made our plan, yo.
Yeah. Wait a minute. You know, we back in the building, everybody. On a big Tuesday, it's the homies from the Rec Room Sports crew. It's your mama's number one draft pick, your boy K Witt, man, and we ain't taking it right now. We know we figured out, people, a little bit of Chipotle, the pepper in my special sauce goes a long way. I'm gonna tell y'all about it. Trust me, it's a secret ingredient now. But anyway, we got Coach Joey up here. You know what I'm saying, in the starting lineups. Coach Joey, what's going on with you, man? Appreciate you telling us all about the national championship experience. And in a secret location somewhere in America right now, we've got JDMIC and the command center right now.
Hey, command. That's it. I've been saying this for a while. It's finally happening. Well ahead of schedule. Like I said, for you war buffs out there, we're like storming, norming our way through this playoffs right now. We're ahead of schedule.
We're ahead of schedule, way ahead of schedule, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, and look, bruh, when I think about what's been going on in the playoffs, it's crazy. But I feel like
crazy.
But I feel like you guys were ahead of the times, right?
Yeah.
Shouts out to you two for that one, dog. I mean, for real. When it was not being believed in, it was believed in first right here on the Rec Room Sports Show. So hey, you know what? We might as well go ahead and get into it, man. Boom, go to the winner's circle, man. Last weekend, it was crazy. We had a couple games that I think went ways that we didn't necessarily expect, but we did have one or two that we predicted. So let's go ahead and throw it up here on the screen. Wow. Man, of course, everybody Monday, you know what I'm saying? It just happened. The Ohio State Buckeyes, you know what I'm saying? The Ohio State Buckeyes, as they are called, took home the inaugural 12-team college football national playoff championship trophy last night. Big shouts out to Coach Joy. Coach Joy was in the building. He gave us a quick brief report on that, just in case y'all missed it. Then, of course, somebody else we think, we got to observe that won or that is winning. Right now, it's the Bears. Chicago Bears, Ben Johnson was finally named as the head coach, one of the leading candidates for the coaching position, any coaching position. He was named their head coach. So shouts out to the Bears. And then, of course, as you can see down in the corners, we got our Commanders right now, Jay's Commanders, who put on a dynamic performance over the weekend. And then, of course, even though it was done in the snow and on Coach Joey's team, we gotta give a shout out to the Eagles, man. Pulled off a crazy win, man. As far as that goes, those are the most dynamic winners from over the weekend. And man, when I tell you, it was football, more football. I think we didn't really have any bad games over the weekend. I think they were all consistent.
They all was highly entertaining, bro.
Yeah, they was all consistently good. It wasn't like really no knockdown dragouts. This was all
How
worth.
dare you, Whit? How dare you acknowledge Ben Johnson and the Bears before you acknowledge?
Hey, bro, but listen, we're going to get into in depth about the Commanders and where we are going. Yeah, well, he went somewhere right after they lost.
Jet fuel on that dude, bro. You understand what I'm saying? We wasted jet fuel on that dude, man. And you gotta acknowledge him, man. Adam Peters turn the PJ around, yo. Turn this around, man. He's not gonna be our coach, yo.
Oh man,
turn the jet around.
Turn the jet around,
and
man.
And you want to acknowledge him first? You call him a winner?
I had to throw it up there, man, just in case there was some Bears fans out.
Nah, you know what? People, like you said, people say, "Let me do my job, man." You know what? All right, you got it. Damn.
So of course, man, we got some of our favorite correspondents in the building. They will be back on. We'll be on shortly. Big shouts out to Jess Girl for Life. Big Avra, what it do? Aaron, I also see in the green room. We got our guy. Las Vegas is home, but Cleveland's on. Bobby, what's going on, bro? We're gonna bring y'all back up in here in just a second. I think we're gonna go ahead and get to it, man. So first off, right, Joey, man, we might as well go straight to you, bro. This is one of those ones where, of course, somehow, some way, you're involved, but you're not involved. You know what I'm saying? What I'm looking at right now, when we're talking about the Lions collapse. Oh my God! But you predicted this, correct? You saw this coming a mile away with Goa Golfing. Was the Lions collapse solely on Jared Goff, or what's next for Detroit? You predicted this last week, being that you had Jared Goff as your quarterback for the LA Rams previously. You've seen him play in the playoffs. You saw what he's done, and somehow, some way, I believe you were one of the few ones to say, just wait till he gets to the playoffs. He's going to throw some picks. Did you not say that?
Yeah, man. That was my prediction. Like I said, they got a prolific run game, 1-2 games, Sonic and Knuckles, David Montgomery, and Jahmyr Gibbs, who's incredible. But as always in the playoffs, sooner or later, you're going to get a game or two where your quarterback is going to have to win you the game. You're going to have to win with passing. And I know he tends to make some mistakes, and he tends to make some bad mistakes, costly mistakes, i.e. that pick six. And then he made another interception. So I knew that they were going to come, and I just didn't have faith that they were going to be able to persevere and overcome his mistakes, which played out in this game.
For sure. But then the other side of the coin, when you talk about the Detroit Lions and their collapse, we gotta go to the command center, man, to get some real answers right now, bro. Jay, I see the look of this thing. So I want you to come back from my mistake of bringing up the wrong head coach first. What happened that was positive on the Commanders end, bro? Because there was a lot going on for y'all for sure.
Well, from one started, like I said, I'm serious. AP turned the jet around. Like, yo, quick little story. Yo, we wanted to draft a quarterback. We made it be known. When Ben Johnson was, fielding offers, he pretty much was like, hey, I heard, you drafting a quarterback. And like, I think this guy, Sam Howell, is my guy. Like I would pretty much we can get this deal done as long as you keep Howell. Peters was like, nah, yo, I'm pretty much drafting a quarterback. Did you see that film? You watch his film? You seen all those picks? Nah, I'm good. I'm straight. And he said, yo, man, if you gonna trade him, man, you could take it or leave it. Yo, they was on the way for their little meeting, however they were gonna meet up. And he said, yo, turn the jet around, man. He's not gonna be our coach. Sources say that's how it went down. So that's for starters. He picked the wrong team. He should have went with the plan. Yeah, definitely PSP. But no, let me back up. He's great. But nah, like offensively, I feel like Jared Goff lost him that game, man. Like everybody else was popping. As long as he got him the ball. As long as he got him the ball, everybody popping. Jameson Williams, that, costly mistake. But like, why would you depend on your wide receiver to throw a pass? I mean, yeah, it's the Lions. Hey, you call on your receiver to throw, pretty much a deep pass. Wasn't he double team? I think he was double team, pretty much. So I mean, it's like there's so many factors that like how he lost he lost the game, how they lost the game. But I think golf, man, it all starts and ends with golf. Those turnovers were costly, yo. Those turnovers were costly. And you take those turnovers away, you got Gibbs going off the way he did. Like, man, it was terrible. That was terrible, man. Like, you got to kind of look at what you got going on as far as golf is concerned. Yeah, there was so many errors, but like, what do you expect from a team that been through so much, lost so many people, lost people throughout the game, which proved imperative throughout the game, as far as the result and like schematically, Terry McLaurin. So that was a bit much, man. For them, too much for them to overcome.
Man, it's crazy that you mentioned that. You know what I'm saying? And of course, Joey, we know what's going on, bro.
Yo, you got a mission.
You just
You
got a
got a
mission.
mission.
We salute you. You know what I'm saying?
You got
Yes,
a mission.
sir. I'll be
Go
right back.
Right. Go handle that. And in return, we're gonna bring up one of our favorite correspondents. I say was in the green room. We might as well go ahead and get her warmed up. Hold on, wait. Hey, guess what? We got a button for it. We got a button.
Oh no.
Sell the team.
Oh man, she is in the back. I just want to get her warmed up. She's in the back. She's in the back.
Buttons, you always ruin them.
I saw the button. I got to press it.
You couldn't wait.
No, man, she's in the back and she's got a button. I think that's cool, man. We're gonna wait on it though. We're gonna wait on it. So as you said, bro, there was a lot of mistakes that was taken on by Detroit, and in the long run, big shouts out to Sports PSP who brought it up. Dan Campbell could have called that timeout, did not. And literally they were saying, and from my recollection of the broadcast, they were saying, man, they got 3 or 4 guys who were literally at home a month ago, on the defense. It was. I feel like when I was looking through the stats, a similar injury faction happened to the Ravens last year, where a lot of their defense had been hurt and squandered a lot of their opportunities, and the Ravens basically did a very similar act of being pushed to the forefront to have title contention, and then all of a sudden, wow, we get to the playoffs, and they just can't put that output that you're supposed to have. It wouldn't measure. It didn't measure up, and it was really unfortunate. But the best team won, right? Jay? That's what the point is.
I mean, I guess you could say like, am I, theoretically speaking, maybe, my feelings, but nah, on paper, nope. But that quarterback, that guy, he makes up for a lot, man. He makes up for a lot. That now the VR thing is getting out, which I'm kind of mad at right now. And but I called it, man. I called it. Your boy Jay Stradamus called it.
Yeah, you did. I mean,
45, 45, 50, whatever, give me, you can give me a little, credit for that, 45, 50-ish, you know what I'm saying? But still, schematically, that quarterback, he has it figured out. Like he's pretty much, can you imagine, you know, I always ask, like, what is he saying when he's talking to these guys? He's grinning. He done ran on the sidelines. Somebody might give him a little love tap, and he'll always be giggling, like having a little chat, like, yeah, man, good one. But can you imagine him saying to these guys, yeah, man, you got me on that one. I, I went through that on Tuesday.
wow.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, yeah, good one. Good one. You got me on Wednesday. Like this dude has had snaps, 250 snaps throughout the week of this one game. And that's, I don't know. That makes up for a lot. That definitely makes up for a lot.
Listen, dog, and when I was getting to hear, from NFL Live, and Dan Orlovsky, they're getting up 6 o'clock in the morning, and Cliff Kingsbury is doing the do. What's going on, Bobby G? Bobby G, what's going on with you, bro? Yeah, I think you're still muted, bro.
I said, what up, what up, what up?
Okay, yeah. We were just now speaking on Jaden Daniels and his ability to kind of see the future in a sense, as he's taking up to 250 additional snaps with Cliff Kingsbury 6 o'clock in the morning with VR helmet. Like that is playing to how well he is almost seeing the future, because he just like Jay said, he's seeing those coverages a week in advance, right?
I have no comment.
That's great.
No comment. If I say something,
comment.
it's gonna come off like hate, and it's really not. It's really not.
We gonna say
ready.
that. Let's I'm about to say, let's get ready.
It ain't even nothing bad. Like we can't sit here like it's just. I just hate on planet Earth. We when somebody does something to the max of its potential, they get 100% credit. Jaden Daniels ain't the first QB to use a VR headset. That's been in the NFL for the last 10 years.
But
they've just maxed it. I mean, he's the first one to have a breakout season while using it. So they give him 100% of the credit. But I mean, how about we just call it what it really is? Just can't it just be quarterback development? I don't think Daniels would have been using a VR headset his whole life and not actually playing the game of football. He'd be a great NFL quarterback. Like, it's a combination of things, man. It's good quarterback development. Congratulations to him. Congratulations to Kingsbury. Congratulations to Coach Smith. Like, they done a great job bringing the young man around. He's got talent around him, and they took full advantage of it. They deserve all the credit, but let's chill on this. Like the VR, the technology, it's been around for years.
yeah, but it's good to see somebody's taking advantage of it. And
For sure.
and sometimes, of course, he's lost games. It's not like he's been undefeated since. You know what I'm saying? But I'm proud of somebody that's actually taking, just like you said, but I'm proud of somebody who's actually taking that initiative and actually making it their thing. Like, yo, man, with him being that being a condition of him getting drafted and us willing to accept that, I would imagine what they were using in the past was more probably like Dreamcast compared to what he's using right
It's
now.
the
You know what I'm
Dreamcast.
saying? So like,
Hey, remember Dreamcast was ahead of its time though. So
I ain't gonna
hey,
lie now.
don't
Hey,
poo poo on the
I
Dreamcast, bro.
love Dreamcast, dude.
Hey,
Shout out to all my boys that had a
Listen,
Dreamcast.
I love Dreamcast now. But
think about
nah,
this.
boy.
I'm gonna give you a question. What's more impressive? What Jaden Daniels is doing this season because of the quote unquote VR technology. Well, think about this. Peyton Manning played 45 years of football, never wore a quarterback wristband.
Right.
Nobody pays attention to that. He's like one of the only
Okay,
quarterbacks
but
here who never wore a quarterback wristband. Just had all that information up here. So what's more impressive?
no, I'm gonna say the VR, and this is why I'm gonna say the VR. So, and I know y'all not big baseball fans, but when that story came out about him using the VR, it reminded me of something that happened during our season. I'm a Yankees fan, so Giancarlo Stanton got injured. They have some kind of pitching machine where they take every pitcher that pitches and every pitch they throw and they simulate it. He was injured. And normally when you get injured in baseball, you have to go down and you play in the minors for a couple games and then you come back up and you're back in the majors. But our pitching machine, that same VR technology, stopped him from having to go down and brought him back faster. And that was a big reason why this season we made it to the World Series. So I love that he's using that VR. I love that it's in his contract. I love that was one of his conditions. I love that. I wish more quarterbacks would do that because clearly it's paying off. Clearly.
Definitely.
You cannot deny that.
You can't deny that it's definitely helping him in ways that we have, discussed. Like you said, 6 o'clock in the morning with Cliff Kingsbury, they're pretty much running all the plays. From what I understand, it's a German company who developed it for pilots to simulate turbulence during flights and how to adjust to different simulations of, bad inclement weather, a bird strike, things that may happen in the air. But, somehow, some way they have taken command of the VR headset and used it to their advantage. But I digress, man. I think it's cool. Just like Bobby said, it's something that's probably been around for a while, but to get to see it used to its full advantage, because you know what I'm saying, we in a generation where the kids is playing. You used to see the kids. Shout out to our guy Tanner. What it do, man? Ted, man, what's happening? We appreciate you. It's for this generation of kids who grew up with phones in their hands, with controllers in their hands. I think that it's a great thing to say. Hey, look at what Jaden Daniels did. You know what I'm saying? My parents probably would have, accepted me playing the game a little more if they knew I could have made millions of dollars off of streaming it. You know what I'm saying? And everybody knows I get down with the games. But Jaden Daniels is using it to his advantage to strengthen his skills as a QB, and I love it. You know what I'm saying? So once again, big shouts out to the Commanders as we move forward, because it's so much more going on. I think is Coach Joy back? Joy, you back? Okay, we got Coach Joy. Got Coach Joy back in the building. Mission complete.
Mission complete, bro.
Okay.
Thank God for 4-wheel drive, man. You don't get that snow down here in the south.
Right. Okay. So another big game, that was played this weekend, which we're gonna, let one of our favorite people, on the show correspond to this one, because we're gonna go with Eagles fly. Yeah, that's right. This one, I know, Joey. I know, man. You get to sound off a little bit about this one too.
Oh yeah.
When it came time for the matchup, man, we did not know what to expect, especially on the weather tip. But I think that played a huge part into how the teams battled the elements, and of course, somehow, some way, our favorite Jets fan is also our favorite Eagles correspondent as well, Miss April. What's going on, man? How you doing? Thank you for coming back on the show today. What you got going on with this Eagles game?
What's up? What's up? What's up? So Sunday was amazing. You had 2 snow games because I love snow games. Football, snow, great. You had 2 snow games, and then you had 2 of the best running backs in the league playing. But about them Eagles, yeah. So I've been saying this since the beginning of the season because about half my family are Eagles fans, and I've been telling them since the beginning of the season, if you make it to the Super Bowl and if you win, think a Penn State fan. And yeah, so I'm repping. I need to make sure you see this. Yeah. That's why I have on the Eagles jersey today. We gonna rep Saquon all day, every day. Cause yeah. So Philly really came out and they played their game. And I know we're gonna talk about it in a little bit, but you have 2 of the best running backs in the league on snow games.
Mm-hmm.
That's your game plan. And Eagles came out and passed him the ball. I mean, he ran for over 200 yards in snow. I mean, what else can you say about the man? I'm just saying.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head when you think about 26 carries, 205 yards, 7.95 average per carry. I think that pretty much sums it up for the Eagles' game plan. On the opposite end, man, you know, Coach Joey, big time, man, big time Rams fan. Your takeaway from the loss for the LA Rams?
Hey man, big game, entertaining game. Listen, shout out to my defense, man. One of the youngest defenses in the league. I mean, everybody rants and raves about the Eagles, the great team, most physical team. Everybody talk about this O-line. 9 sacks last week against the Vikings. Hey, can they do it again? 7 sacks against the Eagles and a safety. All right, so my defense came to play. It's a snow game, and the elements affected it. Really got really snowy in the second half. And both teams had fumbles. It's just sometimes the way the ball bounces, man. We lost 2 of the fumbles on positive drives where we were driving the ball down the field. That Kyron fumble, when we looked like we were going to get some points off of that, maybe punching in the end zone, I'll get a field goal. That hurt us. Then Stafford fumble, lost it too. That hurt us. But I'm very proud of my team effort, man. Valiant effort. Playing in the snow. We from Los Angeles. Everybody doubting us. Oh, it's gonna be they're gonna run through us. We're not gonna be able to perform. We're not used to it. We came through game plan wise. Jared Verse 2 sacks. Gallimore with a safety. Braden Fisk with a sack. 7 sacks total. Game plan was great. Matthew Stafford threw for over 300 yards. I wish we would have got into that no huddle a little bit earlier in the second half because we started the march. That's when we was down 13, but we scored quick, fast. Then we got to stop, and we made it a one-possession game down 6, and we drove. Wish we would have got into that a little bit earlier because that was very effective, but ultimately we came up short to a great Philadelphia Eagles team, well coached. Great game, man. It was just a great game. Very entertaining game. That was one of the most entertaining games of the weekend. Gave a valiant effort, just came up short, man. 2 long runs by Saquon ended up being the difference maker in the game. Well, I'm not even going to say that because even with the 2 runs, we still had the game in our hands with a score.
Hey, Verse was a problem, though. Verse was a problem the whole game. Like, every time. I was like, oh, my God, wait, get off of Jalen. Get off of Jalen.
Hey, look, I'm not going to –
he was a problem the whole game.
It was one play. I don't know if y'all saw it. That sack he had, the second sack he had against Hurts where he pushed his man out the way, and then the Eagles got a 6'7" offensive lineman. He shoved him to the ground. He just straight pancaked that man, and then he got the sack on Hurts. Like, I'm just excited that this guy's on my team. Like, man, he's definitely defensive rookie of the year, and we just get to have this man. We lose Aaron Donald, but we gain Jared Verse, and we hit on that first-round pick, our first-round pick in 7 years. We hit on it like that, so I'm excited here on our team. But shout out to the Eagles. I feel like when you get to this level of the playoffs, all 8 teams that were left felt like this our year, felt like we had a chance. And every team that was left should have felt like that. You know, if you're a Lions fan, you felt like they had a chance. Of course, if you're a Chiefs, Bills, Ravens fan, you felt like this was your year. Rams fans, we felt like, hey, we a young team, but we led by a veteran quarterback and we led by a great coach, Sean McVay. We felt like we were going to steal this game and then host the NFC Championship in SoFi, and we was going to make our run. So, man, everybody felt like this was their year. We came up a little short, but, hey, I'm glad we went out fighting, swinging, giving it all we got. And man, I'm just sad. It's 8 more months until we play again.
Man, and Coach Joey, I know that's your squad, man. I wanted to kind of like throw something out there. I know we didn't necessarily put it down. So, um, your quarterback right now is aging. You know what I'm saying? But he still look good. Still look good.
37, but yeah,
37. Sometimes you got to make 37 look good. You know what I'm saying? But is this was this his last best chance to progress for you guys to get into the Super Bowl? Maybe. I mean, you already got one with him, but I mean, is there another? You think he's going to have another year to put up or shut up?
listen, man, I want to touch on that too. Hey, great question. Listen, after the post game, word on the street is from the reporters, the beat writers in LA and everything, like Sean McVay was in tears. You know what I'm saying? It took him a long time to get his press conference. He was in tears addressing the team. It's rumors that he may retire. They threw $100 million bag at him, wanting him to be an announcer. He turned that down, came back. It's rumors that he may retire. And then today, Matthew Stafford's wife made comments on Instagram that Matthew Stafford may ride off into the sunset. All right. So this is my little plea to them. Look, McVay, I know you 39. You don't have nothing left to prove. Like right now, if McVay retire right now, I can legit say that this man may already be a top 10 NFL coach of all time. All right. You look around the league and 5 coaches now have head coaches' job that used to be coordinators for him. It seemed like everybody was pooching our offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, all right, trying to find the next McVay. But as far as Stafford, man, great career. Come back and give us at least 1-2 more years. You got it in you clearly. Man, still playing great football. If you look at our salary cap, we got $66 million on the books. We have nobody that has to get paid. Everybody that's good on our team already has gotten paid, or they're on their rookie deal and have not been coming up yet to get paid. So we got money to go get all kind of free agents. You know what I'm saying? And put around, get the missing pieces that we need to make that Super Bowl run. Got a really good O-line. I'm petitioning for this man to come back and at least give us 1, maybe 2 more years. He still got it in him. Hopefully they do. But I mean, if he calls it a career, it's a Hall of Fame career, and he has nothing left to prove. I just hope that he comes back, man, and get around one more shot, one more run. Because I mean, hey, we got the pieces.
As I see
But
here, man, 80 and 52 win-loss record, 60 percent winning percentage. I think that's really good, man. Jay, what's up, man? You got something for us?
I got and we I guess we was texting about it before, but and I just want not necessarily for the Rams, but this is something I want to throw out before I go. I'm very interested, and I'm gonna put this out here because you see the name Jay Stradamus. That's me. You know what I'm saying? So my thought is for right now, random thought. Would you consider, or would any team consider possibly trying to get uh free Joe Milton? Because this Joe Milton dude, he could possibly be the key to somebody's problems without having to use a high pick on the quarterback, right? So would you possibly consider, you think it makes sense even trying to get somebody like that if a Stafford will go, or for any team? But that was pretty much my thought. I'm out.
Look, that last game the Patriots had on the regular season where they started Joe Milton had looked very impressive. I'm talking
Very
about his plays with his feet, with his arm. I was like, whoa, wow, okay. Like, yeah, that dude looks good. And obviously they got Drake May in the fold. They believe in him. That's their franchise quarterback. So I think Joe Milton really took that game, and people was kind of criticizing him, fans like, hey, you messed up our draft pick. But he went on IG and was saying, look, I'm auditioning for a job. Like, bro, I got a chance to start. I'm gonna show y'all what I'm made of. So
right.
I'm mad at him from that aspect. But yo, with his feet and what he did at Tennessee as well, that dude, yes, I think he can really help somebody. I know for sure, even if Stafford does come back through the draft or free agency, we're gonna address backup quarterback. And if we can acquire him, that would be great. In the past, McVay has had a mobile quarterback as our second and third string option. But I think it was not somebody that would be serviceable, but Joe Milton would definitely be serviceable. And I know I missed that Lions Commanders segment a little bit because I had an issue to handle. But I really feel like to take this Detroit offense to the next level, a mobile quarterback would do that. So I think that would be another fit for him. I really think that, man, if you put that a mobile quarterback in that Lions offense, it would be scary, you know. I know they lost Ben Johnson, but I think that will unlock it and take it to their next level. I don't think Jared Goff will be the guy that can win you a Super Bowl as the quarterback. He's a serviceable quarterback, but it's some places that Joe Milton could land that he could definitely help.
Got you. I got you. Well, hey, listen, dog. It's crazy how we bring that up. It's because, you know, this offseason will be one of the most prevalent moving quarterback seasons ever. You know, who knows what Stafford's gonna do, of course. Who knows what Aaron's gonna do, Russ, it's a lot of serviceable quarterbacks are going to be moving into new places again. Hey everybody, man, I just want to give a big shout out to the Rec Room Sports crew. Make sure you are locked in. Hit that subscribe button, that way you can be aware of all of the Rec Room Sports shows, because we got a plethora of shows. We got Lock It In, we got In the Hoop, we got Rec Room Sports Show. And man, I'm telling you, you got to get to know everybody on the crew. So we got Coach Joey up top right here. Coach Joey, what to do? We got Bobby G, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bobby G. Shout out to Cleveland. The Cavs is doing all right. We're going to talk about them on Friday. And of course, we got one of our favorites, man. We got Jets Girl for Life. We got Miss April in the building as normal, man. Another game we got to get to, of course, before we get to the end, kind of sort of is one that featured two potential MVP candidates, and it was tough. April aforementioned that there were two games with two potentially Hall of Fame running backs, and both of them played in the snow, but only one of them won because only one of them stuck to the right game plan, in my opinion. So we're gonna get into it, man. Quote the Raven, never more. A Rec Room Book Club discussion. What is the problem in Baltimore? Bills domination or Baltimore collapse? This is a multi-layered question, and it's pretty much for everyone, because we saw in my opinion, one of the Ravens' most dynamic opportunities to win a Super Bowl or get to a Super Bowl kind of slipped through their fingers. And when I say slip through their fingers, I'm not talking about Mark Andrews. I'm not going to down Mark Andrews. I'm not going to get on him heavy. But literally, this was, in my opinion, as I have been in the division watching the Ravens for a really long time, I thought this was one of their best opportunities. And somehow, some way, it did not work out. So unfortunately, as we see here with the quote, nevermore, it is over. And the Bills won. So as we go into this matchup, which I thought was going to be a great one, and it really turned out to be a barn burner up until that very last minute. Bills, Ravens, what really took place? What was it? Was it really the Ravens, falling apart, or were the Bills just that much more of an adversary for this one? And of course, Ms. April, you spoke on the running back situation. I'd love for you to start this one off as well.
All right. Yeah. So the Ravens did not stick to the game plan. The game plan that they have had all season, especially in those situations, give Derrick Henry the ball, let him run. You have a snow game in Highmark Stadium. You're used to playing in the snow. Zay Flowers is out. He's not playing for the rest of the season. So you don't have your favorite wide receiver one. So what should you do? Give it to your other favorite toy. Give it Derrick Henry. Let him run the ball. And they just did not stick to the game plan. Like, they've done that all season. It was like they got to Buffalo and forgot how they've been playing and how they've won every game all season. Even the announcer came out and said this. Derrick Henry is not a receiving running back. Why are you throwing him the ball? Like, why just pass him the ball and let him run? Why are you throwing Derrick Henry the ball? Yes, he's going to drop it. Up until this game, Lamar had 4 picks the entire season. He threw 2 in the first half. Like, he just did not play his game. I don't know what was going on in his head. I don't know what he was going through, but he just Baltimore forgot how to play football. And when they remembered how to play football, it was too late.
It was
Still
too late.
too dominant and could not from it.
Man, I can agree with you on it being too late by the time they realized it, man. You know, it seems as though you have the right idea, Ms. Haber, when you talk about them and what was going on with Lamar. You know, anybody else want to chime in on this one? Because I know this was a pretty much a heavily watched matchup. About.
Yeah, I'll take those keys.
Go ahead, bro.
First, in the hey, Coach Joey, cut that blasphemy out. You know Jared Goff will have a Super Bowl ring. Todd Gurley hadn't got hurt. Cut that out.
I mean, and
cut that out.
Gurley was hurt, but
cut that out. And it ain't no shame in losing. Ain't no shame in losing the Super Bowl to the Patriots. They got the most for a reason.
You so cut
that. Sean McVay lost confidence. Sean McVay lost confidence in his own abilities to develop quarterbacks. Nah, let's get to these Ravens. Let's get to these Ravens. All you Baltimore fans, see, I'm from Cleveland, so I can say it because y'all got your team from me. Ain't no saying they lost a game. They for the last 3 years, the best 3 teams in the forget the NFC, the AFC. The best 3 teams in the NFL have been the Kansas City Chiefs, the Buffalo Bills, and the Baltimore Ravens. You lost to one of the top 3 teams in the league. Ain't no shame in that. All these Ravens say, "Oh, we should have ran the ball." Do you know the Baltimore Ravens actually ran the ball more than they threw it in that game? We ain't gonna talk about that though. Keep saying you run the ball. All the people giving Mark Andrews hate. He shouldn't have had to been there. The ball shouldn't have been at his knees. Your MVP threw a bad pass. If you're gonna give him the praise, give him some get back. He turned the ball over. And you lost. You can't turn the ball over. You lost the game. That's just that. Same thing happened in the other game. Like you turned the ball over 5 times. The Detroit Lions, all praise to the Commanders and what they did. But if the Lions don't have 5 turnovers, we're talking about a different result today. That's just what it is. The turnover battle reigns supreme. And in that game, Baltimore turned the ball over. Buffalo didn't. They both have MVP level players. Game over, man. But there is no saying like they lost to the Texans. They didn't lose to the Chargers on something. You lost literally to probably the second best team in the NFL. Ain't no shame in that. So, it's bad luck. Go back to the drawing board, get better in the offseason, fix your issues, and come back next year and do it again. Like, that's all it is, man. Stop singing these woe is me, Raven fans. Your football team is good. Come talk to me when y'all go from 11-5 to 3-14. Then come holler at me and tell me how bad the freaking team is.
Wow.
I don't want to hear that.
Let me get a little bit of that too, y'all. Let me get a little bit of that too, man. It's several things. The turnovers definitely hurt them in the first half. For my selfish reasons, I wanted Derrick Henry to touch that ball a little bit more because my parlay got messed up, man. All I needed was to get 20 rushing attempts, and he ended up with 16.
So that's the real truth.
But that's a different story. The other running back that got a lot of burn Hill, he was very serviceable. He was making good plays. And somehow, some way, with those turnovers that were made, they still made it a game, came back, and still was able to be within a 2-point conversion of tying it. What my grievance is this season, for the last couple of seasons, and in this postseason in particular, I've never seen as many teams go for 2 as possible. Remember that first 2-point conversion they went for when the score was 21-19, and if they try to go for the 2 to tie it at 21, like late in the third quarter or very early fourth quarter, you still had the whole fourth quarter, they didn't get it. If you go back and you just kick that extra point and you down 1, you wouldn't have to go for 2 with the bad throw to Mark Andrews. You could have kicked that extra point. You could have tied the game, and then you could have put your defense out on the field. Hey, stop Josh Allen. Let's go to overtime. So sometimes them 2-point conversions can come back to bite you if you do not get them. They did not get 2 of them, and they lost by 2 points. You know, so hey, Lamar can't have those you just can't have those turnovers, man. So yeah, you know, some bad turnovers. They tightened down in the second half. I mean, the Ravens offense played the Bills had 293 total yards, something like that. Man, the Ravens offense played way better than the Bills offense in every area. It's just that those turnovers were costly. They cost them, and you know, questionable 2-point conversion calls. It's 2 yards out. If I done saw Derrick Henry drug like 4 or 5 guys on his way down for one of those touchdowns, why don't you just give it to him up the gut for to get the 2 yards? He gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? You got if I'm gonna go out swinging and I'm gonna go out losing, I'm gonna go out with my stud guys getting the opportunity to win the game, tie the game, or get the ball on the biggest plays. You just gotta go out with those guys with the ball in their hand. Now, Mark Andrews is a Ravens legend, probably best tight end in Ravens history. People give him a lot of flack, but I'm not calling that play with the game on the line. I'm just not. Either I'm giving it to Derrick Henry or I'm bringing out a play nobody has ever seen. I'm going in my bag as an offensive coordinator, man. So, hey, you know, very valiant effort on their behalf. They came up short. This probably was their best year to get it done, in my opinion. You never know. You know, everybody stayed healthy. You never know what football season is going to throw you. Everything like that. You know, I wish them the best next season. They got some opportunity to get better. Can get some free agents in there. Might can get another receiver to put on the side of Zay that can really be a difference maker. But, man, it's going to get tougher and tougher. That AFC is the most competitive I've ever seen it in the history of the NFL right now. I just don't know, man. That window might have closed for them.
Yeah, Coach Joey, man. Yeah, you pretty much hit the nail on the head. I'm gonna wrap it up. I'll wrap this one up like this, right? 2 things. One, as I paid attention to the end of the game, it brought me reminiscence of Beast Mode and Russell Wilson in Seattle. And I vividly remember looking at the Super Bowl and the Patriots lineup on defense and going, man, they should just give the ball to you know, Marshawn Lynch and win the game. You know, I really feel like Joey mentioned and Aaron mentioned about the rushing yards that they could have that 2 yards right there. I would have much rather said, well, at least we gave it to Derrick Henry and they stopped him at the 2. And then secondly, of something I realized and noticed after watching a lot of NFL Network, that play in particular has worked every time except for that. And they run that play for 2-point conversions. One time Lamar ran it in, the other 2 times Mark Andrews caught the ball and pretty much just fell into the got for the 2-point. That one was that only one that Mark Andrews has not scored a 2-point conversion on this season. So they went in the bag, they pulled out something that they're used to, and unfortunately it flopped on this one. All right, so we're gonna keep it moving, man. Shoot, man. Something we kind of expect to happen, you know, in the playoffs, especially in the postseason. Shout out to 10, man, because we got to talk about the Chiefs, bro. I mean, it's you know, it's Patrick Mahomes. Like pretty much when you say I had Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, what else are we expecting, right? It's crazy to see or to expect anything else other than a Chiefs win in the postseason, especially when they have a week off, you know, to kind of plan to get ahead of the curve. And then you know, I'll let everybody else chime into this one, but when you wake up, the ghost of Travis Kelce, the most receptions in postseason history, most touchdowns in postseason history, all wrapped up in one. And then of course you got his girlfriend sitting next to Caitlin Clark. It's so many factors played into what we actually got a chance to witness on the football field. But of course, the Chiefs take another one. You know, what we got on this one, fellas?
I got the refs on this one, man. Like, bro, I mean, no, look, the Chiefs play a value ever. They're the best team in football. They play a great game. But that Houston defense came to play too, man. That Houston defense is impressive. Not saying that the refs were the reason the Chiefs won. No, the Chiefs still was probably going to win that game regardless. But a couple of those calls, man, come on. Like, what are we doing? Like, I understand Mahomes is the best at flopping, and he's the golden boy, and we protect quarterbacks and everything. But man, that one on Will Anderson was egregious, bro. And to give an already good team, a great team, extra chances or extra possessions because of flags when you're trying to get them off of the field to get your offense on the field, it's going to come back to bite you every time when you play when your opponent is the Kansas City Chiefs. But they still deserved it regardless. They still earned it. They still played way better than Houston played. The injuries came up to bite Houston in the end, man. Diggs, Dale out. Your offense is limited. They just couldn't get it done. So, kudos to the Chiefs. But it's getting to that point where I'm watching greatness in Kansas City. But man, I just want to see somebody new hold that trophy up at the end, man.
I feel you on that one. I definitely feel you.
We all feel like that at this point. Nobody wants Mahomes to win at this point. I think the entire country is rooting for everybody except for Kansas City. But with that being said, so real quick, shout out to Bills Mafia. They have the best fan base ever. At this point, they have donated over 31,000 or 32,000 to Mark Andrews Foundation. They came through. He was getting death threats after the game, and they came through 32,000. That's amazing. With that being said, as much as I wanted the Ravens to win, I think Buffalo winning the game is better because they have to go against the Chiefs, and I think that's one of the only AFC teams that could possibly knock them out of the Super Bowl. It's going to be interesting on Sunday. It's going to be real interesting. So I would love for it to have been Lamar, but I feel like Josh Allen has a better chance of knocking Kansas City out. And I'm going to say this, and I know a lot of people are not going to agree with me. I don't think this is the best Kansas City's team that we've seen recently. I think they've had better teams past couple of years. I think the refs just cheat better for them this season, which is why number one team in the AFC.
Oh man, the refs. It's egregious, man. When you talk about the refs and what happens, I can honestly say it's tough to officiate those games because of the positions that Patrick Mahomes puts himself into, where the players have to kind of accommodate him as a quarterback, not as a runner, but as a quarterback. Bobby G, you said you was going to say something about throw something in there.
Yeah, I definitely want Kansas City to win. Like, as we coming off this MLK holiday, man, it's great to see that 3 of the 4 teams represented by black quarterbacks. It's great to see that a black quarterback is chasing history, trying to become the first quarterback to win 3 Super Bowls in a row. Hell yeah, I want to see that. Sign me up all day, twice on Sundays. So, as far as I'm concerned, for the rest of the playoffs, go KC, go Chiefs.
Oh man, listen, bro, you're not alone when we hear go Chiefs. You're definitely not. You know what I'm saying? Awesome. You see, we got I got 10 man in the building. What is it? We are one of the most penalized teams. Yeah, yeah, you penalize when it doesn't involve winning the game. Like it be really, really not happening when it really matters. But you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And the crazy part about that I have to remember is that, of course, as a Chiefs fan, or not as a Chiefs fan, but as a Chiefs observer, you know what I'm saying? Patrick Mahomes always tends to do some very, very classic things as far as on the field is concerned. The throws falling down, the sidearms, you know what I'm saying? You can't take away his greatness from when he is producing on the field. And it's crazy because you know what I'm saying? It's almost as if it's we expect it. But when you look at the stat line, right? 16 to 25 for 177 and 1 touchdown. I mean, that's not what you think about when you think about the best player, the best quarterback ever, the best player in the league. Now, what I do see down here is 7 receptions and 117 yards and 1 touchdown. That's what I think about for the best receiving tight end ever to play. Yeah, and Patrick, excuse me, Travis Kelce hasn't been as productive this season as he has been in the past. But of course, when you wake Trav up and you tell him it's time to party, oh man, that don't mean nothing to Trav. It's on, and he's out there getting it. And it's great to see. You know what I'm saying? Just like Bobby mentioned, you know, look like we're headed towards seeing a black quarterback win a Super Bowl 3 times. Very, very uncommon in this era. In a row, yeah. You know what I'm saying? One time, 3 in a row. I cannot go against that.
A black quarterback's gonna win, but not 3 in a row. But a black quarterback is gonna win the Super Bowl. Just
we've seen that before.
Not the 3 in a row.
Okay, I got you.
By the way, anybody know where Travis Kelce's from? I can't remember.
Ohio?
Yeah, he's from Ohio.
Well, yeah. What part?
I want to say Cincinnati, but I'm not 100% sure. But I want to say he's from Cincinnati. Hold on.
Nah, Cleveland. Stand up.
Cleveland. Hey, you know what? On that note, because we're talking about places where people go, but oftentimes don't rep, we got to bring in one of our favorite correspondents. You know, he's a guy. He knows the guy who also knows the guy. And especially right now, he's living in inclement weather. Earlier today, he mentioned that the temperature had not gone to double digits, and it was about 12 o'clock at that time. Let's get it for one of our favorite guys on the show, man. Always working hard. Several shows. Big shouts out to Sam on the mat. Saturdays after Raw. Thursday night SmackDown. I probably got the days wrong, but he'll let you know. We got AP Allen Perez. What it do, my guy? What's up? Well,
y'all people in the north need to come get your weather back. He's fucking drunk down here. For real.
So Allen, man,
snow in Houston of all places. Come on.
I saw that. I was about to say, as you sit in your snow-covered house right now, tell me your thoughts on this Chiefs game, and then we got to get our guy Tanner in the building.
What is there to say that hasn't already been said? It's the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's be honest. They're going to win this game. They're going to win this game. I mean, and honestly, I'm kind of with Bobby. I am rooting for Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes only because Buffalo I would be okay with, but the other 2 teams I detest with a burning passion. So fuck the Eagles and fuck the Commanders. Go Chiefs.
Well, all right. So since we got all these covered, we got to keep it moving because that clock is ticking, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. NFL Championship Sunday, man. It's crazy. Out of nowhere. We are closer and closer to the end of the NFL season. I feel like it was just yesterday that we were having a conversation about our expectations for our favorite teams, who was going to make it there, our really way, way too early predictions, and bam, here we are. So out of nowhere, I'm not even going to say out of nowhere, but we should expect that these will be some of the best games of the season. And of course, you know, when it comes to these games, we've got to represent for not only our team, but other people's teams, because my team ain't in there. My team ain't in there. April's team, Joe team just got out. You know, we know what's going on. So we might as well take a quick peek at it, man. It's crazy, man. So of course we got Commanders, Eagles, and Bills, Kansas City. Miss April mentioned it earlier. I think it's a great narrative to see Bills, KC one more time. We always want to see who's the best out of that matchup. But to see the young bull, like they say in Philly, go up against someone who dealt with a lot of adversity himself his rookie season in Jalen Hurts and that Eagles defense, like, what are we seeing from the matchup? Let's start on the NFC side. When it comes to Washington and Eagles, let's get some real quick answers on this one, guys. What are we seeing as a factor and an outcome for Eagles Commanders?
Let me start this one off if y'all don't mind. During that Rams Eagles game, if y'all seen, Jalen Hurts got bent backwards in his left knee. Got injured. I don't know the extent of that injury, but we had 4 sacks in the first half. He got hurt early third quarter, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, it was some uncharacteristic sacks that he took, i.e. that safety in the end zone where like he just looked like a deer in headlights. He couldn't move. So I don't know how mobile Jalen Hurts is. I don't know the level of extent of injury that is, but that may come into being a factor in this game. You know, his mobility. Can he extend plays with his legs? You know, they're gonna be teeing off on him if he can't. Favorite to win I would prefer to see the Commanders in there just so the Commander fans can have something to root for. And it's a rarity that they make the Super Bowl. Nobody expected them, so that'll be a nice storyline, good storyline, feel good story to see a rookie go against either the best quarterback in the NFL or a top 3 quarterback in Josh Allen to see if he can get the deal done. I'd rather much see that if Jalen Hurts is hurt rather than Saquon leading that team into the Super Bowl with the injured quarterback. I don't want to see that, But my heart of hearts telling me the Eagles gonna win this game especially if it's snowing. Not saying the Commanders can't play in the snow, but if it's still snowing in Philly again, I think the Eagles may squeak it out barely.
All right, sure. So we got one for the Eagles right now. AP, man, throw it out there, man. When we talking Commanders, Eagles, what you thinking?
Well, as somebody who shares a division with these two teams, I'm definitely rooting for the Meteor first and foremost. But again, as somebody who's in this division, throw all the stats out, throw all the camaraderie out. Yeah, hell, even throw the weather out. This game is going to be probably the best game of the weekend. I think it'll be better than Chiefs Bills because this is old school NFC East. I know both teams are high flying offenses, but this is old school NFC East. Plus, if you go back the last 5 years, yes, Philadelphia has been impressive, but what is the one team that they have struggled against? Washington. Even when the Commanders have been bad, Philly has still had trouble with them, even at home, even in the snow. I really like Washington in this spot. I really do. If Hurts is not 100%, I have a good feeling that Washington can bottle Saquon Barkley up because they've done it in the past. They've done it this year. They did it way back in, week 15? I like Washington with the upset.
Well, I be damn.
Man, I'm telling
You're welcome,
Jay. I'm sure somewhere Jay is in the command center smiling, saying thank you, Alan. Miss Averill, what you got?
So I looked it up while y'all were talking. Jalen Hurts is not 100%. He is going to play on Sunday. They've already said that, but he's not 100%. So as long as they change their game plan, you got to feed it Saquon. All those games where we were complaining like, oh, he missed his yards and he didn't have enough receptions because Jalen was running it. This is the game where Jalen just needs to give it to him. Instead of Jalen trying to do it himself, he needs to give it to Saquon. So if they adjust their game plan and I don't want to say make it where he doesn't have to run, but make it where he doesn't have the majority of the load, I think they pull it out. It's going to be real close, though. I see this being a 2-point game, a 1-point game, overtime possibly. This is going to be real close.
Definitely. Bobby G, man, your thoughts?
This ain't even fair. It's just not fair. And I don't think it's going to be close. And it's not because I don't believe in the Eagles. Jalen Hurts has been hurt for like a month. He's coming into this game, forget 100%. He might not be 55%. Like you saw it if they would have had another quarter to go against the Rams, they would have lost that game because he just could not move. That's why they got the safety. Like he literally couldn't get out of the way. The Commanders' defense is legit. Like that front seven can get after the quarterback, and the difference between the Commanders and the Rams, Commanders' secondary is way more talented. And that's just going to allow that pressure to get to him even more. I think Saquon is going to run out of gas. He's been carrying the load for so long. This is the game where he's just not going to be able to do it by himself. They're going to put 8, 9 in that box, and they're going to dare Jalen Hurts to beat them. And I think Washington wins by double digits.
Oh, yeah, man, that's a good one right there.
Who do they have wearing the green dot in Washington right now? Bobby Wagner, guy who's been there, done that, won a Super Bowl in Seattle.
Definitely been there and done that. All right, so we're gonna go to the other side, man, because we're gonna keep it moving. So as we have talked about previously, man, this matchup has been seen and seen and seen, but we can't get enough of it. We got the Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. One more again. Will the Bills finally upset Big Brother and get Kansas City out the way, or can we send Mr. Mahomes back to the Super Bowl for that three-peat? What we got, guys? We'll go ahead and throw it back to the lady on this one, man. Go ahead, Miss Avery.
So I had to look this up. Josh Allen has not had an interception since New England. I think they shut them down. I think they shut Kansas City down. As long as the refs do not cheat, it's gonna be about what happens with the refs, because the refs cheat every single game.
Cheating refs.
If they're playing Kansas City, Buffalo wins. If they're playing Kansas City and the refs, Kansas City wins. But I think Buffalo pulls it out. Something always happens, and I don't know all the teams, but no team has ever three-peated. Something happens every single time a team tries to three-peat, and I feel like Buffalo sends them home.
Wow. Okay. I like where we're headed with this one. We're not just going with the average answers. Let's go ahead and keep it going. Unaverage Allen, what you thinking on this one? Chiefs, Bills.
Well, this gives me Brady Manning vibes, doesn't it? Because you look at the first few years Brady and Manning faced off each other, especially in the playoffs. Brady always had Manning's number. Like, it wasn't even a question. It wasn't until maybe 04, 05, 06 where Manning finally got that win that he needed to get over the hump. I think this is Josh Allen's time. I really do. I think somehow, some way, you mentioned it, the teams that go for the three-peat, something always happens. I think it's going to be a close game. I think Kansas City's going to be there till the very end, but I think Josh Allen is just something's going to wake up inside of him, and he's going to find a way to win this game. So give me Buffalo.
Give me Buffalo. I see that. We're going with the underdogs on this one. Bobby G, same thing. We rolling with the boys?
Absolutely not, man. Like, this game is about one thing: 13 seconds. That's what's in the Buffalo Bills' head. 13 seconds. 13 seconds left, and we on our way. 13 seconds left. We got the confetti. Didn't happen. And it ain't gonna happen this Sunday. Ain't no get back, ain't no revenge. I think it's gonna be a good game. I think this is gonna be the best game of the weekend. But man, Patrick Mahomes is the GOAT for a reason. Like, Averill is right. Something happens. Something always happens. Patrick Mahomes always wins. That's what happens.
Hey,
he's the GOAT, man. He's the GOAT. He's this generation's, and I hate to say it, Brady, because he's better than Brady. And like I say, he's going for that history. He make that history, it's gonna be no doubt. So give me the Chiefs 31-28.
Man, we even got predictions for Bobby G this week, ladies and gentlemen. So close it out for us, Coach Joe.
That's a real prediction, Jay.
As much as I want to see the Buffalo Bills win this game and the Kansas City Chiefs get dethroned, I got to go with who has the best coach and who has the better quarterback duo. And I don't think anybody would disagree that Kansas City has the best coach quarterback duo. They somehow, some way always figure out how to win. Although Buffalo does have a very impressive offense and defense, I'm looking at the weapons on offense and who has the favor, and I got to give the edge to Kansas City. I mean, besides Shakir, I'm not scared of any of Buffalo's receivers. I mean, Amari Cooper and Keon Coleman are very serviceable, but I have not seen a breakout game from them in the last 7 or 8 weeks. Amari Cooper really had a breakout game since they traded for him. But Hollywood Brown has came back for Kansas City, so now they got 2 speedsters and Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy in their arsenal. You got old Mr. Reliable, Travis Kelce, who's gonna be getting rooted on by all the Swifties and all of that going on. You know what I'm saying? You got the 2-headed monster in the backfield, Kareem Hunt, Pacheco, who can get unleashed, and they just got too many weapons. They're gonna be at home. The refs love them. Vegas loves them. Commissioner Goodell loves them. So I'm gonna go with Kansas City. As much as it pains me, it'll be Kansas City in the Super Bowl again.
Caitlin Clark loves them too, apparently, man. Because when you got Caitlin Clark on your side, you can do anything. So man, we're gonna take a look one more time at this one. So of course, right now we got the Washington Commanders and the Eagles. It looks like right now we're going Commanders on the show, and it also looks like it's split decision right now. We go Chiefs on in this one. It's crazy. I'm excited to see it, and you know what? You know what we got to be excited to do when we talk about these matchups, because we're almost there. We're almost to the big game. We're fine. We're one more week closer until we get some good bets with our guy, Tanner Dawson from Lock It In. What's going on, Tan, man? How you feeling for this weekend, bro?
You know, I feel good. Hey, I'm glad we grabbed some Josh Allen stats, Averill, because, week 16, that's impressive. Week 15, whatever that was. Did you check Mahomes' last interception? That was the Buffalo game in November. That was the last time he threw an interception. But, hey, we ain't going to focus on that, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to focus on the referees, and we're going to focus in on this weekend coming up here, because that's what matters. That's what matters. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in case you guys missed it last week here, Saturday, I think we had a pretty good day for the Lock It In guys here for what we ended up putting in. But Sunday was a hell of a day. Let me tell you that much here. The first game of the day, the Philadelphia Los Angeles Rams game, for the 9 bets that we locked in, we missed one. Okay. Now, that second game, Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens ruined it all in the fourth quarter because they decided to actually come out and play again. So, but that's fine. That's what happens in the betting world. But we had a hell of a profitable day just thanks to that one game there. And we'll be back at the NFL picks on Sunday, cut this weekend. So no Saturday NFL bets, only Sunday. But we'll get into it here. But let's talk about it here. We got a big weekend. We need some early bets to lock in. I can go through the spread. Washington, Philly -6. The over-under is 47.5. Buffalo, KC. It's now up to -2 for the Chiefs, which is weird, but that's fine. 47.5 for the over-under. Great, fabulous. But we're not betting that because those lines are wild, as we kind of seen the last 2 weekends. Not even touching that. So we got some player props for you. And I got one. I got some for each game for you. So let's pop into it here. First one right here. I don't know if you guys can see it here, but it's the Washington Philly game. And we got Eckler over 18.5 rushing yards. Look, since he's come back, he's been a force for them. He's been on the over of this line here the last 2 weeks here. So we're gonna roll with him here this weekend on the Eckler over 18.5 rushing yards. We're going Saquon Barkley anytime TD. Now hear me out. Now, Coach Joe, I'm pretty sure, was that Bobby or Coach? No, Bobby. You said Saquon was probably gonna look down here. He's had 2 touchdowns both matchups this season against Washington. He's also, we know what he's done the last 5 weeks here. I still think that this guy gets in the end zone at least. If anything, he may not have 180 yards, but he'll get in the end zone. So we got anytime TD there. And finally, Dallas Goedert over 38.5 reception yards. What a guy that has been for Jalen Hurts these last 2 games. AJ Brown hasn't really come alive. Jalen Hurts can't throw it deep. But the fact that you got Goedert there, being able to get open, be effective here, I like him to continue to be on the 38.5 receiving yards. That's our 3 bets here for the Washington Philly game. Next up here, hold on.
Wait, we got okay.
All right. Sorry, you can hear me?
We got these bets early. Hey.
Sorry. I just got my new stuff going. All right. So so you can see me. Buffalo KC game. Notice there's no Chiefs on here. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know who the heck to bet for the Chiefs. Kelsey's all the way up at 70.5 right now in the receiving yards. I can go anytime touchdowns. I think I like Pacheco this weekend because he usually dominates the Bills, but we're going to stick to the safe bets here, right? We're going to stick to the safe bets, and that's knowing who the Bills are because that's what the Bills do. We got the James Cook over 2.5 receptions. I like that low line still for the reception mark. He usually is a factor in the passing game against the Chiefs here. I anticipate him to be in the same way. We got Amari Cooper under 16.5 receiving yards. What a dud that guy has been for this team here. And quite frankly, to me, I don't see him being a threat at all. I see Keon Coleman, who didn't play last time against the Chiefs, being a bigger threat than I do Amari Cooper. And then finally, Josh Allen over 20.5 pass completions. Now he's been right on that mark. He hit the under the last couple of games here, but he's going to have to throw it. And quite frankly, to me, I think this thing's going in overtime because why not? It's the Bills Chiefs AFC Conference Championship game. What else do we expect here, right? Going in this game. So those are your bets here for this weekend. Oh, my light went off. That's fine. Hey, now we'll be back, or I guess I'll be back on here in a little bit here. But your NFL bets, if you're looking for it this weekend from Lock It In, from the player prop standpoint, as well as your game lines, check us back on Sunday morning, most likely around the 11 o'clock mark. We'll be 11 o'clock Central, may I add. We'll be right here on the Rec Room Sports Hub, just getting ready to discuss it and get our locks in. So that's what I got.
Tan Man, yo, hey, you know what, man? We appreciate how you bringing it. I've been getting a little feedback from some people watching Lock It In on the weekends. You guys are really holding it down, man. So I want to give you some
Appreciate
props.
that.
I want to give you some props on that one for sure.
Hey, by the way, in the words of Bobby G, the notes are being taken and the receipts will be written this weekend.
Hey man, Tan man, we appreciate you for coming in like we always do. We got one more time for you to jump back in, but you know what? Before you go, you know what we got to do, Tanner?
Hey, we got to lock her in, baby. Let's go.
That's right, man. Hey, we appreciate you. Don't forget, everybody. Tan man said we doing football on the show on Sunday. No football Saturday, so we probably gonna do a little bit of hockey, maybe some basketball. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot. We got a variety of things on the show when it comes to Allen, my uncle Scott Cobe. Shout out to Scott Cobe and Tanner Dawson on Lock It In. So once again, guys, we know this was a heavy football weekend. So we're gonna just take a quick moment to think about the national championship, man. Is the product official? Or is the college football playoff in need of tinkering? Is 16 teams a plus or minus for what we saw? Now let's take it to context real quick. We saw 12, and 12 still gave us a little bit of what's a good word? It still made some leeway. You know what I'm saying? We still got a little bit of controversy. We still got only thing we really didn't get in the end was Alabama, in my opinion. That was the largest
Who needs them?
The largest crowds the pockets from me reading and looking on the internet when I saw this was going to be one of the topics. One of a lot of the noise came from Alabama fans and every Florida team in Florida. Literally every team. If you had a team in Florida, they was thinking that they could have been in it as well, but you know, Miss April, you know, our Gamecocks or the Gamecocks could have made a conscious effort to have been in the playoffs too. Had some, chips falling either way. So let's just take a quick think about it, man. We had 12 teams. Still, Coach Joey's Ohio State Buckeyes came out on top. Was that the right amount of teams, or is there still some type of fixating? Elaborate movement that we need to do for this one. And Joey, being that your Ohio State Buckeyes woman, I want to hear from you first.
All right, Tenfold, man. This is the inaugural year for the 12-team expansion. The committee had to have a different approach because, of course, it's more teams. You know, it was controversy on who was going to get selected, what's the criteria. I do feel like 12 teams is good, but I mean, look, we're sports fanatics who want more. So I'm not opposed to 16. I would want to see it expanded to 16 as well. All right, because we got Miami that was left out, who could have been in there. I'm from the state of South Carolina. Of course, I'm a diehard Buckeye, but the Gamecocks got hot towards the end of the season. And I got a saying, you know, you want to peak at the right time. And the Gamecocks were one of those teams that peaked towards the end of the season, had some very impressive wins. And in my opinion, was probably a top 5 hottest team down the stretch of the college football season. It would have been nice to see them get in. Then, you know, Alabama fans were crying that they deserved to get in. I didn't think so, but, you know, if you expanded to 16, of course they were going to get in. And then you maybe have an Ole Miss or a dark horse like Colorado, who was very entertaining this year, that could have got in too. They would have sold tickets. You know, just imagine a Colorado-Miami matchup if it was 16 teams this year. That would have been a must-see TV. So I'm not opposed of them expanding from 12 to 16. And in the NCAA world, we got, 68 teams? I mean, hey, what's the extra 4 teams, extra 2 games? Nobody gets a bye week. I'm not opposed to that, you know, so I'm in favor of it. But if they don't, I think, you know, if they do go that route, it's going to take several years. They're going to go ahead and ride this 12 team for a little while. And then maybe we'll see in a couple, 2 or 3 years, they may revisit it to expand it to 16. 12 is enough, but the selfish sports fan in me that love college football, of course, I would love to see 16.
Indeed, man. You know, when it comes to someone whose team took a tough loss this college football playoff season, it was Miss Avery and her Nittany Lions from Penn State. I'm sure she would love to have had her team play another game somewhere in there. Ms. Abram, what do you think about the college football playoff addition or subtraction? How do you feel about that one?
So I'm okay with both the 12 format or the 16. I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue is how they seed, not reseeding, and the bye week, and then the championship games. Like you automatically get a bye week. Like they got to fix that. That's the part that needs tinkering. I don't think it's the amount of teams that needs tinkering. It's how they're selecting them, the ranking, and then reseeding. That's where I feel like they got to figure that out. Something has to change because every team that had a bye week automatically went out. I mean, that did not work. So if that means we get 4 extra teams in, I'm not opposed to that. If they figure out a different way to make that less of a factor, but they have to figure that out because every team that had a bye week, I mean, except for the Texas game, every other game was a blowout. So they gotta fix that. So
I hear you on that one. Alan, I know you normally have a horse in the fight when it comes to your Oklahoma Sooners. How do you feel about this? You know, even though, of course, they got to win a championship, but possibly to be bye week or to be considered. But what do you think?
Listen, I'm not old enough to remember a championship here in Norman. That was like way back in 2000. So, but my idea for this is simple. You do it like you do March Madness. You see what they do for each bracket in March Madness. 1 versus 16, 8-9, what is it? 11-6, the next one, and then like 4-12, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Do it like that. You take the top 16 teams. I would say if you're going to expand it to 16, you would get 6 conference champions would get in, but you would seed it based on the ranking instead of, conference champions, all that good stuff. That way, the top 8 teams get home games. They have to defend that on home turf. And then the second week will also be home games. You move, and you don't need to reseed it after each round. You just have to set it up properly. If you do it like March Madness, I think it'll create those better matchups, especially in later rounds. I think it should have stayed at 8, honestly, but I'm okay with 16. I am not a fan of 12, honestly. If I'm being frank, I'm not a fan of 12. I would be okay if they dropped down to 8 or if they went up to 16.
I hear you. Man, Bobby G, man, you know, as a connoisseur of many sports and having had seen basketball from an array of angles, when you put it into a bracket perspective with college football, man, Bobby, what you think about it?
Allen, they can't expand it to enough teams to get Oklahoma in there. They're not going to get it. Stop it. 12 is enough. 12 is the perfect team. All these colleges, we need to make 16. It ain't even 16 conferences, bro. Why are we going to get all these? The NFL don't even have 16 teams in the playoffs. Why do we get 12 is perfect? It's perfect. Allen did hit on something that I actually like. I feel that the teams that earn the first round bye should also host that game. I think there's a reason why the top 4 teams all got eliminated, and it's because they're sitting on the sideline waiting while these other teams, like you've already been off for like a month and a half. And then these teams basically get a 3-week head start to get, as humans, we're creatures of habit. These teams get a 3-week head start. They full practice, they full go, and they play. And the top 4 teams, they all came in cold, just basically off of one live week of practice. So, hey, if you're going to have them at that much of a disadvantage, at least get them a home game. Plus, those other teams got a chance at that personal revenue. Ohio State kept that revenue from that Tennessee game. Same with Penn State and the other two schools. While the top 4 teams, all they got was bowl. They had split bowl revenue, which I'm sure was like more than hosting the game, but still, get them an opportunity. They earn the right to keep that revenue to themselves and not share with the conference. But yeah, 12 is the perfect number, and I'd also like to see some reseeding. Like it just makes sense. You work so hard to get an advantage, and then you end up with the toughest route. End up playing the eventual national champion in your first game. Like, what kind of BS is that? Why do we go through all of being number 1? We might as well have lost a couple games and came in as the 7th seed. We might have had a better chance. But 12 is perfect. Just fix that bye situation. Get them a home game. Let's get some reseeding in there, and I think it's good. I think it's perfect. Just those couple of fixes, because I actually enjoyed this. This is the first playoff I've enjoyed since it's been one, and the main reason was because outside from the initial selection of teams, once it got going, I didn't hear anybody complaining about anybody who deserved to be there, who didn't. I don't hear anybody complaining now that Ohio State won. I don't hear anybody saying Notre Dame didn't deserve to be there. So you hit the sweet spot, NCAA. Let's just make a couple of fixes and you good.
By the way, for the semifinal payouts, I want to bring this up. Penn State got $2.56 million in the payout. Texas, 10.25 payout.
It's crazy.
So Texas got like 3 times as much as Penn State did.
I think
but Penn State got an extra home game to make something that they keep to themselves. So
everything's bigger in Texas, man. Everything, even the checks.
Got all that oil money for nothing.
And as I see here, live from the command center, it looks like we have gotten another satellite feed in from JJ. You want to jump in on this bar and talk about the 12-team playoff? Maybe add it to 16?
Yeah, I definitely I'm feeling the 16 because if everybody's going to complain about the conference championships, then we need to just go ahead and start the 16-team tournament around the time that you would start the conference championships. And that pretty much knocked that out, because you're going to have to tinker. If it's going to be some type of tinkering, it's going to have to be somewhere in there. I think they just haven't realized like the reality of certain things that come back to bite them, like some of these teams is being left out. I think the only con that they were okay with was the fact that with the teams that were going to be left out this year and like next year to come, possibly, and probably the year after that, is those teams will still be left to fulfill those bowls, those lowly bowls. Like, I mean, come on, let's be real. Like, yeah, Pop Tarts make a lot of money, but what sounds better? Northern Illinois in the Pop Tart Bowl or Miami in the Pop Tart Bowl? So, at the end of the day, I just feel like they're okay with that just to pretty much suppress, these big time corporations that's involved, and just to pacify them. We're okay with the snub so that they can get their money. And then for these bowl games, because some good teams are gonna be getting left out, and then boom, you just go ahead whenever you get the 16 team, tournament or playoff, it pretty much takes care of itself. What if the problem is gonna be these schedules? I think we're gonna go back to who's scheduling who and where and what, and oh, these schedule these cupcakes and over here in the middle of but fuck whatever, Nebraska or whatever, or you know it'll get like that.
Joe, yeah, you had your hand up. Did you want to chime in on something real quick?
I was speaking to some guests, but I
Oh,
will chime
Oh,
in. I will, I will chime in. I think that
my bad.
the college football committee, they did their things with the 12 teams, but I feel like the other matchups for bowl games could have been better. Like, why wasn't Colorado playing Miami in a bowl game? Why wasn't that made? I don't know if the schools didn't agree, hey, we don't want to do that, but they could have gave us better games for the other bowl games that weren't in the college football playoffs. I think the only one that really hit that had my interest was Michigan, Alabama. Like, you could have got some better matchups, in my opinion. That's something that they can work on next year too. Because who
You
wouldn't want
have
to see
one
Cam
team
Ward?
I
completely
think you
drop
still
out
use a slot
because they
system though.
lost.
Who wouldn't want to see Cam Ward versus Shador? That would have been must see.
I was
A
going to say
must-see
they
bowl
had
game.
Colorado and BYU. Why were you having two conference
That's crazy.
opponents
Like,
play each other in a bowl game?
I mean,
Yeah,
I really think
BYU spanked them. That's the crazy part. That's
it had to be
really
the school saying no, we just not gonna take that game. Because why wasn't that a matchup? Why wasn't South Carolina playing? Man, it could have been some way better games they could have had. They could have had South Carolina, Colorado. They could have had way better matchups in these non-college football playoff games. That's
I
what
mean,
They
I
it would have
think.
actually
helped.
were
It
talking
would have helped if
about
you beat Illinois, but still.
they were talking about South Carolina, Colorado at the beginning when they were talking about who would get who. Because I have alerts. I still have them saved on my phone. Because if they would have matched that up, we were going.
I think
I
it was
like
because Colorado lost the final week of the regular season. Had they not lost that game, not only would they probably be in the Big 12 championship game, but even if they lost to whoever it would have been, Arizona State, Iowa State, they probably would have gotten in that bowl game. But because they lost that last week, they got knocked out of it.
And one thing I'm gonna throw in too before we move on, because we got our guy Tan Man getting ready, because we got some college football odds already coming out. So I know he's ready to do his thing and do with us for Lock It In. I think that everybody said similar about the matchups for the college football playoff and how the games played out. And I am a proponent of the ping pong ball lottery system. Put the 16 or 12 teams into a ping pong ball mixes, just like they do the draft, and let's just pull the teams out one at a time to pick who plays each other in the ball game. I really didn't like how, and April mentioned this, how the very very beginning of the playoffs, all four of the bye weeks lost. Right? It in somehow some way, these are supposed to have been conference champions, so on and so forth. Let's just negate the conference champions waiting to the side all for a week. Let's have everybody start at the same time. Let's declare which bowl game is where. But let's just go ahead and say, look, if you get the draw, you got to play them. It does, and mix it up a little bit, because I think the anticipation. One of the things that we watch on TV is to see what's going to happen and who is waiting to play who. Kind of sort of when the bowl games happen. I remember before the college football national championship playoff picture was happening, they would show the teams were being considered in certain bowl games, all of them will be in the locker room or in the players' room, watching the screens to see who they're going to play. I think that type of anticipation is something they would need. They got a million shows for the College Football National Championship. Wow, this would be another opportunity. The College Football National Championship playoff lottery. And then now you got the ping pong balls and certain representatives from each team in the 16. And then whenever your ball is picked, who you're going to play. They got to shake hands, take a picture. Let's go. I think it would be a great idea just to mix it up a little bit. I love 12, 16 would be great, but I think the way that the play, the seating is chosen, I think that will be the big mix up right there. Oh man, we are on a roll, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to know we are past the first hour. We're getting closer to that second hour. Make sure if you are still in the building that you are locked in, you are subscribed to the Rec Room Sports Podcast group. We got AP Allen Parallels in the building. We got Miss April, Just Girl for Life in the building. We got Coach Joey, and we can't forget about Bobby G. And we got Jay at Command Central right now, still fulfilling missions, passing out orders. It's going down right now for the Command Center. And as I see here, my boy, TD, Tanner Dawson, ready to lock it in one more game for early national championship odds for 25-26. Tanner, was good.
Hey, it's early, man. You could say that for sure. We got some crazy odds out there. Some bets, if you like them, you could take them. We got Notre Dame out there plus 1,400. Penn State. I know we got a Penn State person in here. We got 900 there. Alabama, 1,600. If you really wanted to go after it early. So, but we take a look here. I'm gonna give you the three favored. Okay. So if you look here, the three favored, Ohio State at plus 450, Texas at plus 650, and Georgia plus 700. Are we shocked by any of these? No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. So, I mean, personally for me, I'm probably just dropping another round on Ohio State. I mean, was it 2 Big Ten schools in a row that have won the title?
Yeah.
We taking over.
Yeah. Quite frankly, guys, here's my deal, right? If there's a three-peat in the NFL, there's probably a three-peat in the conference. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm leaning towards Ohio State in this one. But I don't know. It's still early. It's still really early. To throw anything out, but now it's the time to drop and get those big money lines or big odds on your Tennessees, on your Clemsons, and your LSUs. I got a guy that works in Texas, LSU fan. He says it's going to be one of their best years, next year. I'll wait and see. I'll wait to see it happen, but that's kind of where we're at. But that's just some simple odds. If you guys like it, go out and bet it now, or you can wait to see how all the fire sale is going to go and the NFL, who gets in to the draft and anything like that. So I'm a wait and see guy right now. But that's your way too early odds, just as we finished off on Monday. So
yeah, man, Tammy, you just like you said, it's way too early. We got to see what happens with that transfer portal. Who's going to go where? Who's going to be the quarterback in Alabama? Is Arch Manning going to start in Texas? Who's going to be the quarterback at Ohio State? Like, all of these questions have to be answered.
Georgia, right?
But who's going to be the quarterback at Georgia? You know what I'm saying? This is where we are right now in the sports world. We are waiting on the edge of our seats for college football to revamp and refresh so we can get a good look at what's going on, man. Tam, man, we appreciate you once again. Don't forget, lock it in Saturday and Sunday. What time?
Saturday here, it'll probably be closer to 11 o'clock, guys, Central. For that here, I got my workout at 9 Central, so we're going to do it 11 Central. But we're going to go over hockey, like we said, NBA. We're going to go over a lot of college basketball we're going to be digging into here. But we'll be hitting, just like we do in NFL, your player props, your game lines, all of it. We'll be discussing it through for about a good hour on that Saturday. So just make sure you stay tuned, get in there. And I mean, we're going to have some fun here now that there's other sports actually being played. I don't know if you guys are aware of that to bet on. So that's what we're going to roll with.
Shout out to the other best being bet on, man. Cause out here at Rec Room Sports, we go and they don't go, but also we are known to
lock it in, baby. Here we go.
About what's up, old man Tanner Dawson. Tanner, thank you again for showing out and showing up, man. We appreciate you, bruh. It's crazy, right? And we've been working hard on a few things, and I want to give a big shout out to this next segment because they I think they should be ready. Are we ready? We ready to do it? I think I'm getting orders from the command center, so we should. Hey, you guys, we got the new segment going on, and it features one of our favorite correspondents. We're going to give a big shout out to Miss April Stevens. April, what it do, man? We ready for the buy and sell?
Yeah. You got my graphics? You got my graphics? You got my graphics?
We got graphics. Let's go.
All right. So there was an article put out by College Sports Only on Instagram, and our buy and sell this week is going to be: do you agree with the actors that they put as these coaches? So they had a bunch. We picked 3. They had a bunch. They're a little hilarious, but how well do you think this actor matches with this coach? So, number 1, you ready for me?
All right, hold on. We're gonna throw it up. We're gonna throw. Hold on, wait. Where'd you going? Which one you got first? Because I got the whole ad up, the whole thing up here for you.
All right. So number 1, we're gonna go Justin Timberlake as Lane Kiffin.
Justin Timberlake, Lane Kiffin. All right, hold on. Let's take a peek at Justin Timberlake and Lane Kiffin. We are going to show the whole link right quick. Hold on one second. We're gonna. All right, it's up, and wow, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, so they got Justin Timberlake as Lane Kiffin. We buying or selling? How do we feel? Bobby?
I'm selling.
You can do it.
I'm selling.
No,
He's not that great of an actor, man. Like, nah, I only see Timberlake. Like, he's one of those guys. He's one of those guys. Man. Selling.
now we got him in the office with some comedy substances. That's where he got to do some real Lane Kiffin type stuff in order to be a thing. But I don't know. It's close. This is a close one.
I'm selling too because I don't think Timberlake can act as crazy as what Lane Kiffin does in real life.
I could see he could probably pull it off. I just think that it'll be a better fit for Lane, maybe a Leonardo DiCaprio,
Yeah.
That one I could see.
I'm just going for like the Wolf of Wall Street, how he killed that. Like, I just think that if they do a Lane Kiffin movie, like he can embody him.
This was one of the harder ones to see to put it in, and I've seen him in some sports movies, but that one was a little harder to put him in. So I sold on that one as well.
I already see it. Hey, coach, we should run the ball here. I don't really care what you say. I already know. What you don't know is
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
All right. So we had a little background discussion on this one, and we disagreed on this one. But this one's probably my favorite one. So my next one is Mark Wahlberg as Shane Beamer, my coach of the year.
You know what? I'm buying that one. I'm gonna buy that one. Because Mark Wahlberg.
I feel like this is a good fit. I don't know. Do y'all follow like the Gamecocks on social media? Shane Beamer is always doing something crazy. I feel like Mark Wahlberg is his spirit animal. So I'm buying on this one. I'm buying on this one.
That Fantasia bit where he was singing to his fiance or whatever with the team. That was a dope Shane Beamer viral moment. Mark Wahlberg, he's like an actor. He can get serious. He can get funny. He in Ted. You know what I'm saying? So I think that he can pull that one off. He's youthful enough. I think he can pull that one off. That's a good one right there. I'll buy it.
And he's in shape. He's always in shape. He's always running. And Mark Wahlberg being a Boston guy, I think would love to be in a football movie. So I'm buying this one too.
Beamer ball takes no days off.
Yeah,
All right,
I'll buy
and
it.
so for our last one, this is probably my favorite one. We got Will Ferrell as Brian Kelly.
Wow. Yeah, they got. Listen, it's some. I'm clicking through them. There's some other good ones up here, but I'm gonna stick with what you got. So Will Ferrell as Brian Kelly is definitely one of the ones. Now that I see the other ones, Will Ferrell as Brian Kelly is a good one too. Hold on, here you go.
I was gonna say, is that at Notre Dame or post Notre Dame?
At LSU. I feel like
Sell. I will buy. I will buy Will Ferrell as Ed Orgeron.
Oh my
Yes.
God, that would be
Yeah.
Give me that.
yes.
Yeah.
Give me that all day.
Or that guy that's in all the Adam Sandler movies. That's like the mumble guy and come on, like y'all know what I'm talking about. He in all the Adam Sandler movies, and he plays the same person in every movie. That guy could be Ed Orgeron for sure.
oh my God.
Listen, and I'm gonna click through a couple of these because now that Ms. April has brought it to my attention, we're gonna siphon through one or two. Let's just.
There was a lot.
Kirby, okay. This one, Jake Gyllenhaal. I think this one was a good one. I saw that. We're gonna
let's throw a pitch at the 1 yard line. See if we get in.
John C. Riley is Mike Elko. If y'all know John C. Riley from
Walk Hard.
That's cool.
from Walk Hard, from Boogie Nights, you know what I'm saying?
Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights. Yeah, that's a good one. Mike C. Elko. Chris Pratt. Come on, shout out to Chris Pratt.
I can't see that. I'm selling. I can't see that.
I'm still thinking Star-Lord. This one, where was this one? Right there. Wow. He was what? Come on now. He looked just like him. That's the funny thing. Even Jim Carrey's played some serious parts. And Steve Carell as Uriah Drinkwitz. Come on now. Those
Go
are
back to the Jonah Hill one.
Back to the Jonah Hill one. The Jonah Hill.
Go back to.
Oh yeah, here we go. Woo.
No. No, I'm selling. I'm not buying that. I'm selling that.
Selling it. You selling it. Listen.
I'm selling.
Jeff Lebby's a little leaner.
Just a little bit. No, but Jonah Hill is crazy in shape now. Y'all know that, right?
Yeah, he lost a lot of weight. Yeah, he dropped. He trimmed up.
Nah, I don't see it.
No.
I can't
Mark
see that
Stoops
either.
is insane.
Oh,
Wow.
You can't do the Christopher.
No.
AI has gone too far.
No, not Sam Pittman. No.
AI has gone too far. Thank you, Miss. Hold on, wait. Wait. You know what? I wanted to do this earlier, but I'm gonna do it now. Hold on.
Sell the team.
Yes. We got a button for it, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we do. Oh my goodness. Oh man, thank you, Abram, for the buy and sell. We're gonna keep it moving, man. And I think this was a great one for you guys. And we also got Alan in here, who is of huge baseball allure. We got MLB Hall of Fame inductees. April, you're gonna lead this one, I believe. Is that not correct?
Oh, I mean, I can lead it. Hold on, let me get. So, 2 Yankees made it in. I do have to look for the third because I don't know his name by heart. But CC got in. CC got in. I'm so excited. As a Yankees fan, CC got in. So this Hall of Fame, we got. Hold on, let me pull up the complete votes.
Ichiro.
Suzuki got 393, so he was one off from being unanimous. CC got 342 and Billy Wagner got 325. So they're the 3 that went in. Now, there are a lot of snubs. I feel like there are a couple players on here that I personally would like to see in the Hall of Fame one day. Hopefully it's next year or whenever. But I feel like a couple people got snubbed. So how are we feeling about who got in?
Quick question.
So we got CC, we got Suzuki, and we got Billy Wagner made it in this season.
So they only let 3 people in the Hall of Fame this year? or it's just about the percentages of. That's way too low, in my opinion. Why are they so selective? That's crazy to me. Who was the hater that didn't?
The baseball writers are not dead yet. The old baseball writers are still alive. They will. They literally, the old baseball writers have to die in order for them to even consider certain players, and it's been like that for a really long time. So that's
why you haven't seen anybody from the steroid era get in.
It's about 15, 16 people who could have been put in, but those are the only 3 that they picked because they're old and they're crabby and they don't like the stats that were busted open by the steroid era and others. Yes, you're correct, Captain.
Well, which one of those old heads was the hater that didn't get Ichiro unanimous in there, bro? Ichiro should have had 100% in there, bro. 99.9.
Right?
99.97 is not enough for his legendary stature this career this man had. It's like one of my top 2 favorite players, bro.
It was probably an Angels or an A's beat writer.
They need to out him because we need to know. That's crazy. But Ichiro definitely
he is the first Japanese-born player to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
That's big.
That's cool. That's real big right there.
If you count his statistics in Japan, he is the all-time hit leader in all of baseball.
Yeah, so Ichiro, CC Sabathia, Billy Wagner, and of course, we all know what time it is when it comes to CC Sabathia. And you know his stature at the mound, as they would say. You know what I'm saying? The biggest losers. There are some losers from this one, and it's unfortunate that several people are not going to get put into the Baseball Hall of Fame around numerous reasons. You know, steroids, clubhouse dislikes. Those things last forever in baseball, but they are this type of voting, like Joe brought up, is more common for the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame, for Cooperstown, as they say. But it's very unlikely that several when I say several of the names that you, me, all of us remember as far as what we would consider the golden era of baseball, or what we would consider the golden era of baseball, are going to be tied into the Balco? That Balco conspiracy where they got, some people said they was on the juice. Well, I was only on the juice a little bit. I think I took it. I had my trainer gave me a supplement one time. You know, all of that stuff really was happening, and then and pow, and records got smashed. And these writers who remember Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig, you know what I'm saying? Guys like that, they are not gone yet. And I am not wishing death upon anybody. Please do not get it twisted. But those are the type of writers who are not voting in some of our favorite baseball heroes at this point in time. And it's unfortunate, man. It really is.
Unfortunate. I feel like this is a part of the reason why baseball is no longer America's pastime. Football is king. You got to adapt with the times, man. Look, steroids are going to be a part of baseball forever and ever, man. And the guys who got linked to it, PDs, whatever, they still were great without those. You know what I'm saying? A-Rod was one of the ones who got snubbed this year. I don't want these players to finally get inducted after they die, after they leave, and we don't get.
A-Rod only got 37% of the vote. Only got 37%.
Come on, man. That's A-Rod, bro.
That's hate. That's what that is.
The two next closest ones were Carlos Beltran with 70 and Andrew Jones with 66.
I was just about to do that. So let me say a couple of these names as I just found the article. So okay, we got Ichiro, CC, and Billy Wagner, right? Then as I look down, Andrew Jones, Chase Utley, A-Rod, Manny Ramirez, Andy Felix Hernandez, Bobby Abreu, Jimmy Rollins, Omar Vasquez, Dustin Pedroia, Mike Burrell, Francisco Rodriguez, David Wright, Torrey Hunter. Now, I'm not the biggest baseball connoisseur, but I know about everybody I just named. I can recognize those names. So it's crazy that, and I know some of those names are linked to PEDs, as Coach Joey said. But it's crazy that the idea is the juice is what manifested in all of their prime, so to speak. or which elongated their primes. But I don't, and I might be wrong. I could be completely wrong, but you still got to be pretty good to hit that baseball. I don't care how.
Bro, that's so hard
I
to do.
just find it crazy. I just find it crazy that A-Rod keeps getting snubbed. Like, okay, I get it. He admitted to it. He apologized. We forgive him. Like, as a Yankees fan, we forgive him. Some of those games, some of those World Series, we would have won without him. I'm just saying. So, at the end of the day, how many games? Well, okay, for those of you that do watch baseball, how many games was he announcing and was he on the main broadcast that you continuously saw his face? So why is he, if you can have him as one of the main announcers, especially for all these big games, he was all-star, all playoffs, World Series, he was there. You have him on national television. So why can't he go in the Hall of Fame? Make it make sense. If he's good enough to announce and cover all of these main games, why is he not good enough to be in the Hall of Fame? You loved him when he was playing. You was cheering for him. You loved when he was winning you games. So now that he's announcing, and you still have him as one of the main, like you have him, Big Papi, and you have Derek Jeter. So those are your big three. Those are your big three. So why is he not allowed to be in the Hall of Fame? Come on, he had like.
It's the same reason why they won't let Roger Clemens in. It's the same reason why they won't let Barry Bonds in because of the PED scandals. They feel it, especially the writers. They feel not only was it considered cheating, but it hurt the integrity of the game. So they're getting penalized for it.
We didn't talk about
the same. It's the same reason why nobody. It's why no commissioner will ever reinstate Pete Rose unless.
And he's gone. He died. Not
the same reason why Pete Rose won't get reinstated. It's the same reason why
the hit king died.
Even though the Cubs have rebonded their relationship with Sammy Sosa, it's why Sammy Sosa will never get in. That's why Mark McGwire will never get in.
Which Sammy Sosa we're gonna put in? We're gonna put in regular, normal brown skin Sammy Sosa or brand new light skin shoe Sammy Sosa? Because I was confused when I saw that.
You got to be brown Sammy.
Gotta be brown Sammy.
Say he's getting inducted into the Cubs Hall of Fame this year.
Team. Sell the team.
Hey man, fellas, we got to keep it moving anyway because I think it's about that time. You know, we do a thing towards the end of the show, and I think it's actually become one of my favorite pieces of the show. Big shouts out to Jay tapping in from Command Center, and it's actually. Slice of life, man. You know, we're gonna go ahead and let it roll. Who's on the slice of life today? Jay, who's on the slice of life? Oh, Bobby, you slice of life?
Yeah, you called up on Jay. I'm like, oh.
No, I said who? I thought he was gonna announce you. Yeah. Go ahead, bro. Hey, slice of life.
I was muted.
No, I got you, but you know, we watched some teams lose some pretty big games this weekend. We watched the Ravens get beat. We watched the Rams get beat. We watched the Texans lose. Yeah, we watch NBA teams lose, and they're not playing big games. It's a regular season. What do all these teams have in common? After the game, they shook hands. They went back to the locker room. They might have cried a little bit. But the key thing is they showed respect before they left the field. Mark Andrews received death threats for dropping a pass. Deshaun Watson received death threats because he hasn't lived up to, or people think he hasn't lived up to his contract. People say in this day and age, athletes are too soft or too friendly because of they've grown up in the AAU circuit. You know, these guys have known each other since they were 13, 14, or younger. Yesterday, the Detroit Pistons and the Houston Rockets played. Cade Cunningham was the number 1 overall pick in his draft class. Jalen Green was the number 2 overall pick. They came up together through AAU. They have a friendship and a bond, but they go at it between the lines because they love to compete. We often look for athletes to be role models to our kids. Maybe it's time that these athletes become role models for the adults if they can do battle for 40, 60 minutes, shake hands and walk off the court fine, then as a fan, you should be able to watch the game, enjoy the game, shake hands with your rival, and go home as well. I know the word fan is short from fanatic, but let's not be crazy with it. Sports is supposed to be a unifying thing in our community, in our culture, in our world. I'll never forget watching the first football game after 9/11. I was in the military at the time. I was in the Air Force. I'll never forget the feeling I had watching that first football game and the guys run on the field carrying the flag. I'll never forget the first game in New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina and what it did for that community. Hell, I'll never forget the first game fans were allowed back in arenas after COVID, after being without personal sports for years. So let's bring the humanity back to sports. We don't need all the outside stuff. If you don't do it for yourself, let's do it for the next generation and show them that we can be good sports and good humans and just enjoy the game again. So that's that.
Wow, Bobby, you hit the nail on the head with that one. If there was ever a time to need a slice of life such as that, I think that was a great one. I'm gonna throw something on the back end of that too. Riley Leonard, the quarterback for Notre Dame, in the post game press conference. And we're not gonna get too religious on the show, but I'm gonna say this. I appreciate how that young man through adversity went up there and said, of course, giving honor to God, who's the head of my life and everything. He said he was just glad that at the end of the day, God fearing men all join hands and we all are friends at the end of the day. I thought that was cool. So big shouts out to you for that one on the slice of life, man. I appreciate that one. Anyway, you know what's crazy? We come to the end of the show, folks. We pretty much did it. Let's see what we got going on after the slice of life, of course. Man, wow. Don't forget, Fridays, ladies and gentlemen, we got In the Hoop going on. You know what I'm saying? With myself, Alan Perez, Bobby G, and Jay on MIC. We do a little basketball talk. Make sure you check that out. And recently we got a little peek into some basketball on the women's side, where the 3-on-3 has been taking place in Miami, and the debut of the Unrivaled League has kind of swept the nation. It's been on the Max when it's not on regular TV. I did not know that, but I just found that out. And I thought it was being simulcast, but hey, if it's not on TNT, it's on the Max. So make sure you check that out. Any quick thoughts on Unrivaled? Has anybody checked those games out? I know I checked the first ones out.
Mhm. I love it, man. I love it. I
So
really appreciate the fact that, like, I don't know who I was talking to, but I was talking about all the backcourts. Like, all the backcourts are scoring backcourts, which is amazing. Of course, the vinyl right now, kind of like my pick right now to win, but we'll see. But it's been very entertaining, man. It's an open brand of basketball, a little bit more wide open. But at the same time, like, you got to play some defense. Yeah, it's like you got to play some D. Like, it's a little bit more space for people to operate, and like being that these are kind of like the best players out of the WNBA, it's a little bit um it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun watching, all of them get pretty much in the swing of things, getting their chemistry together and stuff like that. So it's cool. It's very, very entertaining. So I love it. I love it. Fell asleep on it
so
last night, but I love it.
I've watched all the games so far. If you are interested in watching and you have a Max subscription, every game is on Max. Games are Fridays and Saturdays, and then on Mondays. So 3 days out the week, and you have 2 to 3 games each day. So with that being said, Laces, Lunar Owls, and Vinyl have all won 2 games. Mist and Phantom and Rose have lost 2 games. So there's 6 teams. But if they won, then they've won twice. If they lost, then they've lost twice. And so far the Laces, they're ranked number 1. I feel like Lunar Owls needs to be ranked number 1, but they have Laces ranked number 1. But shout out to Skylar Diggins. She hit the game-winning shot for the Lunar Owls on both their games last weekend.
Skylar Diggins Smith out here balling.
I was highly entertained by it myself. One thing I think the Big Three can learn a lot from Unrivaled League too. Like the Big Three just does like a half court, but the Unrivaled they do the full court. Like
it's a smaller court, but it's a full
2K court.
Yeah, it's
so
really
they might need to adapt that, and they can take some things. They might adapt that. What turns me off in the Big Three is that it's kind of like half court. You know, like former NBA players also have enough of an engine to be able to go up and down the court a little bit more. I think that makes it a little bit more competitive, where you defending a separate goal when you playing in defense. So I really like the product that they put out there. It's very entertaining. You get to see a lot of players get in a one-on-one bag, and I was very impressed with that product that I saw.
For sure. Yeah, I'm gonna just throw my head in there, man. I think one of the biggest things is I mentioned it on In the Hoop, and we're gonna keep it going. The scare that America got, I think 3 years ago, when Brittany Griner was held captive in Russia for having a THC cartridge in her luggage, in her carry-on luggage, and I don't want to call it brutality, but the unnecessary holding of her. And of course, as Brittany Griner is a representative of the LGBT community, she was ostracized in Russia, who of course does not accept their LGBT community as we do here in America. It's great to give these young women who are talented at basketball the opportunity to not have to travel the world in order to make money. I think that's one of the biggest things. They're in Miami. The camaraderie down there is great from what I've seen on their social media sites. They're looking like they're having a great time. They're hanging out. Nobody, and I would think, maybe in the WNBA season, they probably beefing a little bit. But right now in Miami and in their but in the setting that they're playing in, because it reminds me of the old like they do in Atlanta. I think that they're having a great time. I think that they're enjoying being around each other, getting to play the game that they love, and making some good money. And every time you take a peek around the arena, around the gym, it's stars on top of stars. They're being supported by the NBA. They're being supported by the NBA brand. They're being supported by the NBA leaderships, and it's great to see that hey, we can support a brand of our own here in America instead of sending our girls, our young ladies, our women, our mothers across seas to fend for themselves, where they may be defenseless and have be in countries where the rules are definitely skewed against women, just like something that Brittany Griner went through. But hey, big shouts out to Breonna Stewart and Nafisa Collier for putting it together. And actually, it's cool to find out that their husbands, well, Nafisa Collier's husband is actually one of the ambassadors for the brand, and they've been having him on camera doing a lot of talking. So big shouts out to him, Mr. Collier, for putting it down for us. Anybody else got to throw in 10 cents on the on Rival?
I mean, other than what I said earlier, it's been pretty entertaining, man. I can't wait. I'm really liking this. I'm really liking this. I thought it was gonna be probably a little bit more laid back than it was, not as competitive. You see, kind of bouncing off of what you were saying, like you see what these women were really out here overseas playing hard. You know what I'm saying? Because you can tell by how competitive it's been for them so far. So I love it, man. I love the competitive nature. I love the fact that they not lollygagging, like, man, this ain't our regular thing, so whatever. Like they really put their all into this. Really appreciate that.
For sure.
One thing that I like is not only did they build a arena, they kept it small on purpose. So I think only like 80. It's only like 80,000 seats. Something. It's something small. It's not as big as you would think it would be. And then because we were looking at the tickets to go to the game, and they're a couple $100s, and we were like, wait, why? So not only do you don't see just one game, you see both games. So if they have 2 games a day, they have 3 games. You see every game that they have. They have a fan fest. They have merch. They have all kinds of stuff. Like it's a whole day thing. It is different, and I like them doing that.
And as you stated, it is different. 850 seat capacity, which will also be without standing room. It's on what they call a compressed full court, which is 70 by 50. And a WNBA court is, of course, 22 feet longer. So I think the reason why they're doing that is to give people a closer look at the action. You know what I'm saying? Over the summer with the Olympics, that FIBA 3x3 was a big deal, but of course the Americans did not put the American men did not put the best product on the field on the court. But I think this will make the USA basketball consider doing something way different 4 years from now if they are to do the Olympics in LA like we had planned. Last but not least, let's go ahead and lock it in, man. What they got going on? MLK Day games, man. Them boys was balling yesterday for MLK Day. Y'all saw that? Everybody take them games out. Shout out. Last but not least, I just want to say this, man. We're not gonna get too many more LeBron and Stephen Curry days, man. We're not gonna get it. We're running out of time. And Coach Joy, you a Lakers fan, right? How you? I'm saying, I know you. Do you feel like the clock is running out for LeBron, man? Is it almost over?
Nah, it's LeBron. And it's the Lakers. So I mean, you always got. It's kind of like the Dallas Cowboys type of situation, man. You can always have topics and always have, things that we can discuss when it correlates to LeBron and future and everything like that.
Word. Yeah, Bobby G, man, what you got for the basketball joint, man? You saw some MLK games?
Go Cavs.
Y'all looking good right now, Bobby. I ain't gonna cap. That coach came in to change some stuff around. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all looking good.
Yeah, they look good. I mean, y'all know how I feel about Phoenix, man. They really have point guards. Ain't too much to say, but still, it's kind of sad to see the quote unquote decline of KD, man. I remember there was a time if Kevin Durant was on the other team, you had some level of fear.
He can't do it all, man.
Is it a decline or it's just one basketball and you got 3 ball dominant stars trying to get their numbers?
But they shouldn't be 500. They should not be 500.
It's not. Okay. Joe made a point. It's 3 ball dominant guards, but there's no way that you can replicate. And I'm gonna say this, and I said this. I said it before. There's no way that you can replicate what happened in Golden State that one time for them 2 years. No way. I don't care what.
He's a better player. Even with them playing part time, the Nets were better than the Suns. Like this team is just like the Detroit Pistons are better than you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That you have Kevin Durant and the Detroit Pistons are a better basketball team than you. That's terrible.
They don't have the right coach.
And it puts a smile on my face.
Y'all about to say, Allen, man. Go ahead. Tell us what you got going on with the right here before we get out of here, Allen.
Oh, by the way, Thunder up too. By the way, just wanted to throw that out there. As we are the best team in the West. I love it. I love every second of it. Yeah, just thankful for another day, man. Thankful for another day. Wake up and win again. That's all I gotta say.
That's right. Hey, just like Jay would say, if he was still here, he's in Command Center, he would say, another day, another opportunity. Oh man, wow, look at that, guys. We've already broke past the second hour. It's crazy how this is all of a sudden getting away from us. But right now, I gotta go ahead and throw it to everybody. So, Alan, man, what you got going on this week for the rest of the week for your shows?
Well, as you mentioned, you got Lock It In Saturday and Sunday, On the Mat on Saturday as well. We got our baseball show tomorrow night. We're going to be talking AL East. Going to be a lot of Yankee hate because none of us like the Yankees. Sorry, April, but it's just the truth. But we've been doing our little hot stove series where we break down every baseball team in the league. So we're going to be doing AL East tomorrow, and then next Wednesday we're going to be finishing up with the NL East. So it's going to be great. I'm excited for it.
All right, Bobby G, I know you got a slate of shows going on with the Audible joints. What you got going on for this week?
Yeah, and also I brought back Game Time 216. Just turned into a reaction channel where I'm reacting to all Cleveland sports games. So I'll be doing reactions after every Cavs game, win or lose. Audible Reacts, which will be Thursday at 10 Eastern. And this week we'll be reacting in honor of Kobe Bryant. We'll be reacting to his 81-point game against the Raptors. I believe Avery will be joining us for that.
Hey!
And of course Friday, the original Audible Sports Podcast, where we'll actually be celebrating our 1 year anniversary. It's been 1 year we've been doing Audible Sports Podcast. So tap in with us. We'll be having fun. We'll probably be doing a lot of drinking on air. But we'll be a celebration. And of course, after that, if I'm still coherent, I'll be on In the Hoop. Even if I'm not coherent, I'll just be talking that gibberish. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, we'll take it too. Big shout out to the Audible Podcast doing a year, man. I know y'all work hard at that one. Miss April, you got you gonna be on somebody else's show, man. Congratulations.
Yeah. I'm gonna be on Audible Reacts tomorrow. I'm excited. I like doing those. We had one last week. It was pretty cool. So I'm excited to be back this week.
All right. Well, hey man, check this out. Everybody, make sure you follow Miss April on IG at Jets Girl for Life. She is available. Just make sure you gotta work with her schedule. She does get quite busy. Coach Joey, man, I know you're working hard, bro. We gotta catch you on one of these Fridays too, man. We appreciate you coming back.
Yeah, I pull up on In the Hoop, man, but I'm ready for Sunday, man, because I'm a prize pickologist, so I'm gonna be in the comment section on Lock It In with a couple of picks I got. You know what I'm saying? James Cook, 13.5 rush attempts more. That's cash. That's cash money right there. So I'm ready to tune into that show. It's one of my favorites. I've been tuning in on a weekly basis for the last few weeks now since I found out about it, man. So I'm interested in that. And then, of course, I'm a Buckeye fan. I just want to end it with we number one, we on top. Inaugural 12-team tournament. We won the inaugural 14 when they expanded it, beat Bama when it was Bama. We beat, we went through the gauntlet. Look who we beat. Tennessee, Texas, Oregon, now Notre Dame, undisputed, man. It just feels good.
That's what's
Come
up.
home, Jim Knowles. Come home. Come back home.
Yeah, my man Tanner Dawson says you can join if you got prize picks. Yeah, so
yeah, I'm down, Tanner.
We'll definitely shoot them links out to you, man. And of course, me and Jay still in the command center. So we got today is going down. Tomorrow, you can catch me and Nick Bodkins and Mr. Bobby Blunts. We're doing reactions from UFC 311 over the weekend. Arman Sarukian got hurt. Islam Makhachev had to fight somebody. And Umar Nurmagomedov lost. It was crazy. You should have watched it. And then Friday, we got In the Hoop with the whole gang. We running fours like we always do. And I'm excited to get to it, man. But man, we did it. I can't believe it. Jay, I think his connection into the command center is back.
Mission accepted. You know what I'm saying? This is it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a lot of, and it has been so far. There's gonna be a lot of toxic shit going on this week. Let's just be real. You know what I'm saying? Yo, shout out Chief Z. If you don't know who I'm talking about, look up the story. Vengeance. This is fucking war. Y'all let's check it out. Check out the story. Google it. Chief Z. We back for vengeance, man. We back for blood. You hear me? So
take command.
Thank you, Alan. I love that right there. I got a Cowboys fan. I love that shit, and it's recorded. I loved it. I like that. Take
This
command.
I mean,
It's-
Jay, you want to put a wager on it? I mean,
Uh-oh.
we can put a
I'll
wager
fail.
on it.
Sell
I
team.
mean, we
Sell
could have
the
put a
team.
wager on last week, but you insisted. You want to follow the numbers this time or no? Or you just going with what? The win? That they gonna win?
Win.
Are you betting on the win?
Yeah.
Win.
That sound
Right.
very confident.
We can discuss the terms. Just I'm not shaving my head. That's my only. I'm not shaving my head, but we can discuss the terms.
Wow.
We'll
is,
get to that. We'll
this is
get
getting
to that
interesting.
because we still got time. We still
Shave
got time.
eyebrows.
But
I'm not shaving nothing. Do you see this face? We are not touching the face. No.
I had to wear Eagles merch 2 years ago during the Super Bowl. It was not fun.
Well, you guys, I think.
hey, I trade my beard for hair.
Wow. That
I'm not shaving my head. That's not gonna happen.
Don't shave your eyebrows. 'cause
One
you might get
eyebrow.
back.
I'm not.
No.
No.
Get a-
No.
Get 2 parts in your eyebrow. Try to wild out. Like this.
Don't follow up, Bobby, because you might never get them back. I've seen women shave their eyebrows and don't get them back. So don't.
Yeah.
don't
No,
listen to
I'm
Bobby.
not. No, that's no. But
Yeah.
but
People with
Well,
no
we
eyebrows don't grow
we
like
can
regular
discuss
hair.
some terms. We can
Uh-oh.
discuss some terms.
I can't wait till we figure out the terms, ladies and gentlemen, because you know what?
I wish you had more time.
Man, you know what, bro? We had a good show, so it's going down, man. Hey, Red Room Sports Podcast, Tuesdays, 9:30, 6:30 Eastern. 6:30 Pacific. Make sure you tell a friend and tell a friend. I enjoyed it. I hope you did too. And for JO to LIC, we got Coach Joey, we got APL and Maryland, Bobby G, and Miss April. Man, we are out the door. Make sure you lock it in. Peace.